Hello everyone, I'm Wartab, and I'm gonna be playing apparently Alpha Sapphire according to the incentives. I was gonna play Omega Ruby, but I guess I'm not. So I'm gonna start the game. Retro is gonna start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. So
I did the thing.
Yeah, good job, Retro. So
Thank
I'm gonna let my commentators introduce themselves while I pick the before I pick the character. Starting alphabetically with Araya.
Alright, okay, so I'm Araya, and I have played Omega Ruby.
I'm Etiquette. I've done runs of both, but primarily Omega Ruby.
I am Retro Tato. I have done Alpha Sapphire and also did Sword yesterday here on the ESA channel.
Yeah, which was a great run. He was not overestimated. Gotta try to do the same.
Good luck.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, this is a remake of Pokemon Sapphire in this case. And as you can tell, we have already this big nostalgia hit with the music. And I'm gonna need the character name soon.
Trademark.
We are gonna pick the girl because that is required, but I'm gonna explain that later. Alright, the name please.
Are we talking about the Mudkip name?
No, the trainer name.
There seems to be no trainer name incentive here.
Okay. Well then let's just call it ESA. Did I forget to add that? I don't think I did.
I cannot find it on the list, so...
whatever, fine.
You can call it Dragon, like Retro's run yesterday.
Too late.
That was Ninetales, though. The trainer name was Rookie. No, not Rookie. That's another game.
But yeah, Mudkip name is gonna be a bit later. So yeah, we leaked it, but the starter we're gonna pick is Mudkip because Mudkip is just way too powerful compared to the other starters. As far as I know, only Torchic was actually attempted to be run at some point.
What's also really nice about Mudkip is that he learns a lot of the HMs, which is really useful.
HMs, which this game is the last game to actually feature. Because starting in Gen 7, no more HMs.
Yeah, another thing about Mudkip is its evolutions are water ground type rather than just water type or some other type. And that gives it pretty insane coverage and also gives it only one weakness. The one weakness is to grass, and it's 4 times. But luckily in Hoenn, you don't see many grass types except for your rival, which coincidentally, your rival is going to be one of the worst fights you have to deal with.
And the rival is also the reason we picked the girl instead of the boy, because the nature of the rival depends on which character he is. So his Grovyle, which is one of the only grass Pokemon in this game, will be rash, therefore having negative special defense, and so it's easier to beat for Mudkip. That's the only reason we picked the girl. Basically. Probably
and
impacts.
She has longer legs.
Does she?
Yeah, of course.
Alright, so we have just set our clock like in Sapphire, except we don't actually set it because we set it before. You might have seen me. No, you did actually not see me, but I set the date to the 15th of February to save exactly a quarter second. If even.
Was it me who like questioned why we didn't it's the rain on that one route, right?
Yeah, in front of Weather Institute. You don't get rain there if you set it to this date or other dates. This date is convenient because in Pokemon XY you want to set your date to the 14th of February. And if you don't get a Hawlucha on time, you're automatically already on 15th of February. And so you can just switch from the worst game to the better game.
For Gen 6, for sure, yeah.
Alright, now let's hope we're getting a Mudkip first try. We want to see decent attack and not too bad special attack as well as defense.
Are you going to take 12 to 13 attack?
Yes.
Okay.
In Alpha Sapphire, that's relatively viable. Which is the only thing that is better about this game. So I'm gonna save here. I don't remember the exact odds, but they are not very likely. So
yeah, I know the odds for the stats that I reset for are like 20%. Wartype's going to be looking for stats that are a little bit, give a little bit more leeway. Really, every stat on the Mudkip matters to some degree, except for your special defense. So an ideal nature would be something like Naughty.
Oh wow.
Oh.
No, I'm not doing that.
So
Okay,
amazing attack, but really, really, really bad speed.
I
Yeah.
considered it for a second, but it's I don't know where this could be an issue.
Yeah, there's definitely a few places that could be. It's running bad speed is never fun. He's looking for at least 12 attack, 9 speed, and then would you take 9 special attack? Probably, right?
Yeah, but I would fight optionals for that. So I'm a level higher for
Right.
for D fight.
For the fight.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so this Mudkip here is likely either Adamant or it's either Adamant or Jolly. It's going to have minus special attack for sure. It could have plus attack or plus speed. We don't know yet. We'll probably learn on the next 2 level ups.
Yeah, exactly.
Attack is definitely more important than special attack, but special attack, especially in like the 30-minute range of the run, is going to be really important.
Okay, so yeah, this is not a great Mudkip, but we can make it work. The defense is also not oh god, I said no to the nickname. Guess
Just get a new Mudkip.
Yeah, let's get a new Mudkip, so we don't even have to... Like, this one was not great anyway, so...
Unlucky.
Someone remind me, because I will do that again.
Where's even the name rate? I don't even know.
He's in Slateport, but yeah, let's not start with that.
Okay.
Please set a nickname next time. We have somebody that donated a lot of money
Yeah, that's
for the Mudkip.
That's why I don't want to mess with that guy.
Okay.
The estimate is pretty generous too, so we good. Oh, female.
Ooh,
Nice.
That's not runnable.
that's
Oh.
definitely not runnable.
We want...
Ew.
Yeah, we want to see 12 attack and 9 speed. That's all we want to see. And technically we want also 10 special attack, which is why I'm not too upset about resetting the previous one.
At least we get to do some resets for a shiny, right? This is the run.
Exactly.
Right.
Would
We're
I
all
run
here for the shiny.
Would I run a shiny though? 21 HP, that's good. Well, this one has almost the same exact stats as the previous one.
Yep.
Let's pick this one. Nickname.
Mash A, mash A, mash A.
Yeah, as you might have guessed, we don't normally nickname the Pokemon because that's actually slower than just going with the normal Mudkip name, as text advances at 8 characters per frame, and that's just so fast that it doesn't matter if you nickname him.
Speaking of nickname,
Yes.
Yes.
The nickname is going to be Pokey W. Only the W is capital.
Of course.
We did it!
Thank you to the generous
Incredibly
donor.
generous donations on that incentive, but keep them coming because we still have the Latios name and the Kyogre Groudon name. So keep getting those donations in so we can get some funny names in.
Okay, so this was not too bad. We actually got a Mudkip that can defeat this game relatively fast. The second one. That's not very, very common.
Yeah, for everyone watching, this because this is Alpha Sapphire, this will be a Latias and a Kyogre.
Yeah, if that influences whatever names you want to pick.
Yeah.
Like maybe you want to name the Kyogre Groudon.
That's a good idea.
And
I would personally vote for Forkrout.
This game is quite nice. They give you 10 potions right here, right off the bat, and you start with 1. So you actually, without shopping at all, you are given 11 potions. This game is actually pretty, like from a casual standpoint, this game is pretty beginner friendly. There's a lot of free handouts like that. There's a lot of free heals. It's actually kind of funny that the free heals sort of drop off at a part where it'd be really nice to have them, but you get like a lot of free heals. Like there's one spot in the game where you get a free heal after you've done 1 fight since your last free heal. So it's, you know, it's pretty forgiving in that regard. But there's definitely some parts that are not forgiving, which we will come to in like 25 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that one. That is also a fight where I'm not very happy about having 9 special attack, because that means I have negative special attack, and that automatically makes that fight just so much more bad.
But this little Mudkip is gonna do its best.
PokeW.
We believe in PokeW.
Power of PokeW.
So we want to see 10 special attack here, ideally. And we didn't. Great.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
So are you gonna get extra XP or?
Yep. And our nature is also now plus speed nature. So it's either plus special defense or plus attack. Which is not a bad nature for attack. We actually do not care about our special defense. The only place where it helps is just not taking too much damage during the setup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't need to nickname anything here, right?
No. Next thing
The
to
only
nickname
nicknames
in the
that are
rival.
left
Latias.
are the Latias and the Kyogre.
Okay,
Or
good.
the other.
That's gonna take a while. Alright, we got our starter, and now we have a few more cutscenes with hand holding, but it should not be too much of an issue, because this is fairly straightforward. Nothing special to do.
Do we have a moment for a quick donation?
Absolutely.
Okay, we have $25 from Jarkarus. And they're saying, "Hi from Belgium. Good luck Wartab on the run." We also have $20 from Frantic32. And they're also saying good luck Wartab. And they're putting their money towards naming the Kyogre Milady. So, that's exciting.
It's funny, because Kyogre is genderless, but...
I don't think we mentioned the Wurmple you encountered there before. When we did the first bit of movement there for the beginning of this run, like 2-3 minutes ago, there was a Wurmple he encountered, and that encounter is fixed. That's been a thing since this generation where you get a fixed encounter.
Yeah, it also has some fixed IV, as far as I know. But I'm not sure which one for the specific Wurmple there.
It's also a level that's not possible to appear on that route.
Oh, is it actually?
Yeah, it's a level 3 Wurmple, and everything on that route is level 2.
Wow, today I learned.
Yep.
Special Wurmple.
Ah, nice. So this Zigzagoon is a 90% range, and I already low rolled it, but we won the fight still. Oh, that's...
Yeah, so Wartype's going to be looking at his stats a lot throughout the run, because every game up to Generation 6, not including Generation 6, has RNG manipulation in some way, shape, or form. So you usually don't have to worry about your starter's stats, or whatever the main Pokemon that you're using is, because you've manipulated them. And Generation 6 and onward, manipulation is just not possible, or at least not speedrun viable. So we have to keep track of our stats, and for marathon runs, that means saving and resetting in front of the starter to make sure you get a good one. But also throughout the run, you're going to be checking those stats over and over again, because some fights are going to, or the way that you handle some fights are going to depend on your stats. Your shopping is going to depend on stats, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and specifically here we have not too great stats. Specifically, we don't have good special attack, so I will have to adapt some of my shopping that I'm gonna do later in the run to take that into account. Because this Mudkip is technically already normally reset in a PB attempt. And now Wally's gonna show us how to catch a Pokemon. Fun fact, we got introduced to a mechanic where you see that Poochyena show up in the grass physically before actually getting a catch tutorial. I'm not sure if that makes a lot of sense, but...
It doesn't make a lot of sense. The only thing I can think of is in Generation 6 and 7, the first route of the game has 100% catch rate. So even if you mess up the catch somehow, you're going to catch it. Unless you, faint the other Pokemon.
Yeah, and for some reason they changed that in Gen 8. It's not 100% catch rate anymore.
A fun comparison between this and the older games this game is based on, Ruby Sapphire Emerald, is that the fight is completely random. You can get, the Zigzagoon can get critical hits, and the rolls can even die, but it's really rare, and the rolls can even be shiny. But in this game, it's all fixed.
Can it actually get critical hits?
No.
No, I don't think it can, but it can damage rolls, yeah.
Yeah, you can kill it, but it's very rare because it has to be such a specific defense on the rolls and such a high attack on the Zigzagoon and getting incredible high rolls, and then you can kill it.
It's
like I learned something new today.
Yeah, if it could crit, it would happen more often. That you kill it.
Yeah, because it also ignores the growls and stuff. So
in this game, the fight is random to some extent, but there's just no way that the Ralts can die. Sometimes the Zigzagoon does more or less damage, but it's just not possible to die there.
It can also not be shiny, unlike in Gen 3. We gotta
Punished for going through the grass.
Yep, as always.
Punished.
It is not that bad because the alternative to not going... Okay, I just said it's not too bad. And then
Wow. Okay. Well, at least no damage. Which is nice for next fight, I guess.
Yep.
Because next fight is absolutely horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Some very good strats for that.
So the first save for a fight is here. Because this Poochyena here has Pocket Sand, just like in Gen 3. And so if we miss too much, we're dead. It's not likely to die to this fight, because we have so many potions. But it can still happen, so we're saving. In Omega Ruby, this guy dabs. Here he doesn't.
Can you demonstrate, by any chance?
No.
Oh.
That's an XY exclusive move.
The War Dab.
So it's just gonna be spamming Tackle and Pray.
Yeah, the other thing that can happen is the Pooch can howl a lot. And once he starts howling and you start missing, things get very scary.
Yeah, I got sand attack, but oh, good, I didn't miss.
Nice.
Nice.
Good fight.
Very good fight.
So what's nice about Gen 6 too is that tackle is like base 100% accuracy, which is a lot better than the 95 from earlier generations.
And it's
It's
also
been a thing since Gen 5 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% accuracy.
and 50 base power instead of 40. Oh, 35. No, 30. 35. I forgot. It's higher.
And then they nerfed it back down to 40 base power for Gen 8. Or Gen 7, actually.
Okay, so what Wartep also did was, at the beginning of the run, he put his L button to being A. So he has like an extra mashing button. But L and A cancel each other out. So he actually has a very advanced mashing technique where he's holding L to to make the text go faster and then mash the B and the button screen. Because that then counts as an input.
Yeah, because if you're holding your A button, even if it's on, like, if you don't hold a button while mashing, even if you're on fast text speed, the text only advances at 4 characters per frame, but if you're holding it, it's 8. So I got the most powerful TM of all times, Echoed Voice, which is a move that, when it's used consecutively, it increases its base power by 40 every time. It starts at 40, and it gets 80, then 120, then 160, then up to 200. So it is a very powerful move. The only downside is that if you don't consume your PP, like if you hit yourself in confusion, or if you have to heal or something, then it resets to 40. So we kind of have to YOLO a few fights, just to keep the boost active, otherwise you lose anyway.
Yeah, the key point is consuming PP right there, because if you use the move and a Pokemon uses Detect or Protect, it still ups the power. So that's pretty nice.
Okay, so we are not fighting everyone in this gym, we're fighting only this trainer and obviously Roxanne herself. Because we need a bit of extra experience to be level 10 for the nose pass.
Yeah, the actual Roxanne fight here is pretty cool. Generation 3 runners, Roxanne's not very fun, but in this game it's actually fine. She has a Geodude and a nose pass. The Geodude has the ability Sturdy, which with Wartab's special attack doesn't matter. But Sturdy basically makes it not die from full health. It's not possible to kill in one hit. So what you need to do is you actually hit it with Water Gun. And a lot of times when you're dealing with something with Sturdy, you'll purposely give it like a little bit of damage. So, because if you go all the way down and like proc Sturdy, she's going to heal the next turn. We actually want her to heal the Geodude, because she only has one potion she can use in the fight, and if she heals the Geodude, she can't heal the nose pass. The other thing that's nice about this fight is she'll stop using her most powerful move, Rock Tomb, once you're slower than her. So now that she's used Rock Tomb once, she won't use it again, and her nose pass will just start using Tackle, which does less damage than Rock Tomb. So it's actually a really cool fight the way that it all works out.
And we don't actually have the worst special attack here. We have 13 to 14 negative IV, which is still kind of rooted, I think. We can infer from a few higher IVs what it's gonna be like. And nice, we get hit into Torrent here, and it should die. So we actually didn't lose a single turn to a normal fight here, despite our bad special attack.
That's really good, yeah. Yeah, Mudkip has the ability Torrent, which makes its water moves be 1.5 times power when Mudkip is under 1/3 health. So that nose pass there goes down to a water gun and then 2 torrent water guns. And the way that the damage works out in that fight, you end up with that almost every time.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
And she gives you an amazing TM.
Rock Tomb, 100% to miss in the most critical situations.
If it's 100% to miss in this game, it's like 500% to miss in Gen 3.
Yeah, because also Rock Tomb has improved a lot in this generation. I think the power has also increased from 50 to 60, and instead of 80 accuracy, it has now 95.
Which basically makes it 100%.
Yeah.
Wow, that is unfortunate.
Oh, wow.
That happens way more than it should, but I have a theory about that.
Nice Tailor manip though.
Yeah, we can get a bird for free.
You get a
Tailor
much
can
bigger
be-
bird.
I was just going to say, Tailor can be kind of scary because you come out of Roxanne at kind of low health, and Tailor can outspeed you, so...
Yeah, but I was fine at my health, so
Right.
as long as you cannot die to this train, it'll be good. We also fight him, he's also optional, but he gives a good experience, so... and also money. And the second Geodude has sturdy, so we have to damage it with Mud Slap, because otherwise we trigger the sturdy tags, which is gonna waste more time than if we just break the sturdy with a low power move. And he hit rollout through accuracy drop. Okay.
Vigo.
Alright, so first big-ish menu of the game. Nothing too exciting, just teaching moves and the like. We're going to teach Rock Tomb, like we mentioned. It's buffed from Gen 3, so it's actually decent. And then we teach Echoed Voice. Echoed Voice is going to be the star of the next gym. Unlike in Generation 3, you actually can't leave the next town without fighting the gym. So we have to deal with the fighting gym, which this Mudkip is not well equipped for, but Echoed Voice is going to put in some work.
Also, this fight is unlikely to die to. It's unlikely to die to, but there's like that small chance that we die to it anyway. And since my special attack is so bad, I'm not even going to try and water gun it. Except if my Rock Tombs do good initial damage. Because we want to avoid using inaccurate moves as much as possible. Oh god, no, not like this. That's fine.
Yeah, this Pooch also has Sand Attack, but likes to use it a lot less than the other one. This one actually has 4 moves, where the other one only has 3 to choose from, so that, what is that, like 8% difference is actually quite a lot.
Oh yeah, also for those who are curious, we got the worst of the natures that we could have gotten. We have a Careful Nature, which is minus special attack and plus special defense. I could tell from an IV calculator I'm using, but I could also have been able to tell it from teaching my move, because it shows the red color and the blue color for the natures while teaching a move in the stats.
Something you'll notice, especially on that last route, but throughout the game, Wartab's going to be just running past trainers that can spin. We like to call them, obviously, spinners in Pokemon. In games prior to Generation 6, so 3 through 5, if you run past a spinner instead of walking, they will hear you, quote unquote, and turn to the direction that you're facing, causing you to get hit by them. They removed that in Generation 6 for some reason, so you can just run past them. And there's also no such thing as like a quick spin, so you can pretty much get past every spinner without any RNG involved.
Yeah, there's only one spinner that you're not guaranteed to be able to pass 100%, and it's the one in the forest. Because if you get in an encounter on the tile just before him, you will stop completely and he has time to turn on you, regardless of whether you spawn before the fight or not. So yeah.
There's just one exception in Hard Gold Soul Silver where they actually have spinners that don't react to you running, but it's only in Hard Gold Soul Silver for some reason.
Really? Did not know that.
It's pretty weird, but
I think we're all learning stuff today. Okay, gonna do a quick detour to shop something, and you can talk now. Sorry.
Thank you very much. Speaking of learning stuff, let me teach you a little bit about some upcoming incentives. So, in lieu of BBF rating the stream just a few moments ago, I just wanted to mention that he will be running later tonight with I Want to Be the Bashi, and he has an incentive that I'm pretty sure he would absolutely love for you to meet. It's Kill the Kappa Boss, and currently it stands at $30 out of 100. What's the Kappa Boss? Well, the Kappa Boss is an option boss in I Want to Be the Bashi. If this incentive is met, BBF will take down the Kappa Boss alongside the optional Justin.tv stage. So we just need $70 to get that met. Of course, you could also donate for the Pokemon incentives, but that is also an option that you can get your donations in for.
Nobody saw that.
I did.
I saw it, smiley face.
I actually didn't see it.
Don't worry, I distracted them.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised. That looked good at least. I'm like, I talked him through the table.
You did pet the Pico.
Okay, now I'm gonna pick up an item that is absolutely required, especially for this Mudkip. It's the Silk Scarf. Silk Scarf will boost my normal type moves by 20%. And Echoed Voice is a normal type move. And that's gonna help a lot. So technically, I would not equip it right now because I took no damage. But I will equip it right now because special attack, bad. And I'm also going to save in front of every fight here because every single one has a chance to kill you, especially the second one.
Yeah, the second fight in this gym is probably the heaviest reset point other than, you know, my Mudkip has bad stats. It's a fight that you can do everything right and you just die, even with good stats. It just depends on what actually happens. We have to get through this fight first, so this fight's kind of funny. It's a Meditite, has 4 moves, Detect and Endure, which both are kind of trolly because of that. And then the other moves are Meditate, which boosts his attack, and then Confusion, which is a special move. So Meditate is absolutely useless.
She did tech, but never attack.
Now let me introduce you to this cool dude here called Hideki.
Oh boy.
I should have fought an optional. I just realized that. So we outside. My special attack is too bad to be in the documented ranges for this.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
So we're hoping to get a crit here. Not from him though, because he used focus energy, so he's very likely to just kill us. Right here and right now.
Oh, no crit turn 1.
Foresight. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just no crit from him and we're good.
Well.
Why
did you say that?
Jinx that.
My
so
stream is a bit behind.
Hideki has 4 moves, but you'll only ever see 3 of them. I don't know why he never uses Karate Chop. Karate Chop would be better for him to use. Like in terms of him trying to beat you would be better because it's just more likely to crit. But an ideal fight here, you would see Foresight and Focus Energy, and then Low Sweep would just not crit. Once Focus Energy is up, Low Sweep is 1 in 8 to crit. Is that right?
What? No, it's 1 and 2.
Wait, Foresight becomes 1 and 2?
Foresight? No.
No, not Foresight. Low Sweep. Is it really 1 and 2?
Wait, what is the question? Sorry.
The +1 stage for critical hit, does that make it 1 and 2?
Focus Energy gives you +2.
Oh, it gives you +2 stages. Oh, that's why this fight sucks.
Yeah, it's 50% to crit you. Okay, he didn't use Focus Energy, so he won. Good.
Nice.
So
That's
as you can
actually
tell,
really
he's a really skillful trainer,
Yep.
and he didn't get outskilled for the second attempt.
This fight would be completely impossible if he actually had smart AI, which means that if he were to use Focus Energy every time.
Yeah, his AI is like half smart in that if you're in the range for Low Sweep to kill, he'll always use Low Sweep. But yeah, he doesn't always go for that Focus Energy. There's also some HP defense combinations for Mudkip that will make it like impossible to live 2 Low Sweeps, even non-critical ones. So it's not a very fun fight. And then you have this fight afterward where Wartab just hit himself in Confusion, because that's the only damaging move Meditite has is Confusion, which is unfortunate.
This is where I regret that I did not just save.
Well, you said you were gonna save for all of them.
Yeah, I said that. It's easy to forget.
Yep.
But we all believe in PokeW.
This fight also has a Machop, but this one's a lot less scary.
Yeah.
Speaking of scary, my echoed voice PP.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty low.
But I'm smart because I picked up an Ether, which allows me to restore 10 PP on that. What am I doing? Okay.
You're playing the video game.
I am indeed. Let's
like
just
playing
save
video
for Brawly. Brawly
Yeah.
actually killed me once ever. But there's that odd chance he just kills you somehow. And my PP is kind of low, so I don't want to having to restore that in the Pokemon Center.
So in that last menu, Wartab unequipped the Silk Scarf, and you might be wondering why he did that, because we're still using Echoed Voice. There's actually 2 different reasons. The first reason is if you have the Silk Scarf equipped, actually with this special attack, I don't know if it would happen, but if you have the Silk Scarf equipped, you're way more likely to knock both the Machop and the Makuhita into heal range, which would be slow. The other reason is Makuhita is going to get a turn, and he has the move Knockoff, and Knockoff's power is higher if he actually knocks off an item. So you're going to take less damage from Knockoff just because you don't have the Silk Scarf equipped, and the Silk Scarf isn't required to beat this fight. Like, the Makuhita still goes down in 2 hits, Machop should still go down in 3 hits, although with this special attack, I think that first critical may have mattered.
It mattered, totally.
Yeah. And then you don't need the Silk Scarf equipped again until another part where you're going to be menuing anyways, so you can just re-equip it.
Okay, we got our second badge. Not too bad. Now we're going to meet Steven and give him his letter. In a cave that got easier to manage than in Gen 3, as it's not dark in that section, in that mandatory section.
Or even a maze at all. It's just a hallway.
Why was I not on my... Oh yeah, because I died, that's why.
Wait, did you take no damage on Brawly?
No.
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice because I would have to heal here. If I was playing Omega Ruby, I would not heal here. Especially if I wasn't Torrent. Okay, now would be a good time to talk about stuff. Polister.
Yeah, I'm here. I can talk a little bit about subscribing during ESA Together. Because the first 800 subs during this event will be matched by a $2.50 donation from our sponsor, HyperX. Let's smash that goal and work our way to another emote slot you can all use. And I can see right now, ever since yesterday for my donation reading shift, we've gotten another 100 subs. So we are just, if my math doesn't fail me, 176 sub points away from meeting our 800 sub point goal. Of course, somebody can match that right now and just throw. Nah, I'm kidding. But do keep those subscriptions coming. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I wholeheartedly encourage that, like Adakit just did. Thanks. You can gift to your friends. You can use your favorite service ever called Twitch Prime and get yourself a free sub. So yeah, like Genesis just did, you can gift 4 tier 1 subs. So yeah, get those subscriptions coming so we can get a lot of matched donations from our sponsor HyperX. And thank you all for donating already.
Alright, so and also we might be able to talk a bit about the reason why Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby are both runnable. There are a few differences, and by a few I mean a lot, actually, but it ends up being about the same time at the end, which is kind of crazy given how many differences there are in the game. So obviously, the biggest difference is you get Kyogre in Alpha Sapphire and Groudon in Omega Ruby. Kyogre is slightly faster than Groudon, but there's a very, very dark side to Alpha Sapphire, which is called Latias. And Latias is not as fast as Latios, which you get in Omega Ruby. And Latias is the biggest run killer once you pass the Mudkip section. Because if you do not have 31 IV in special attack and speed, and at least neutral nature in both of these stats, you can basically already reset your run.
Yeah, as Latios and Latias are legendaries, they're guaranteed to have 3 of the 6 stats at 31 IV. They can have more, but you have to get obviously lucky for that. But a 31 IV neutral special attack Latias is actually worse special attack than a 31 IV minus special attack Latios. Just to show you the discrepancy there, like it's pretty insane. There are different fights as well in that section. Most of them are going to be the same. Like you're fighting against, magma or aqua grunts, and they're having roughly the same Pokemon, or at least inconsequential changes. But the sort of like bosses of Team Magma and Team Aqua have different Pokemon, where you can typically one-shot the boss's Pokemon as Latios, just because of type advantages. And Latias really struggles against the Sharpedos.
Nice, you crit the Carvanha, so we could go for Water Gun, which was a risk, I think, at the special time. But good thing I don't think ahead of time.
Another difference, of course, between the versions are the grunts, because a lot of the Aqua members have Pokemon like Carvanha, and the Magma members have Numos and stuff, and that's a little bit easier for Marshtomp, I think.
Actually, not that much. Overall, I think Alpha Sapphire is slightly faster than Omega Ruby for the Mudkip section, but just because of Mount Chimney, which is kind of rough in Omega Ruby.
Yeah. Like, Mount Chimney's not dangerous by any means in Omega Ruby, it's just very slow. You're dealing with Coughing instead of Grimer, and Coughing has the ability to levitate, so your ground type moves, which Marshtomp is going to get, don't affect it. So you have to deal with like either Rock Tomb or Strength, depending on which strategies you want to go for.
Okay, so Alpha Sapphire actually has Grimus there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's actually a big difference, yeah.
And PokeW is evolving.
Into Poke Omega W.
Do you know what else is evolving? The hype train that is currently going on in chat. All subscriptions, gifted subscriptions, and cheers are contributing to that. So let's keep this hype train going, my friends.
At level 5.
It's at level 5. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so we got Marshtomp, learned his signature move, let's call it that way. Mudshot, which he learns as upon evolving. Mudshot is a special move in this game, so we're a bit out of luck here, because that would be better if it was a physical move for this Mudkip, but it's not. And it is also only 95% accurate. So we're hoping not to miss that too often, even if missing that is rarely bad. Unlike Rock Tomb, which is usually a miss means a death.
Mm-hmm.
Well, luckily in this game we also get another ground move very soon that is actually a lot better. Because it cannot miss. Which Gen 3 runners are very jealous about.
Absolutely. So Wartab's going to do a bit of shopping here and then a cutscene. So I'm going to try to explain. So we mentioned earlier that picking the gender for the trainer mattered. We picked the girl because it means we have the boy rival. And the boy rival's Pokemon have different natures than the girl rival's Pokemon. And the natures that Brendan has are just better for the speedrun. That actually comes into play with the Omega Ruby versus Alpha Sapphire split as well, because technically, like, in that museum, for example, we fought 2 grunts. In Omega Ruby, we'd fight 2 grunts as well, but they're technically different trainers in the game because one is a Team Magma Grunt and one is a Team Aqua Grunt. So even the Pokemon that are similar between them are going to have different natures. And so that's going to come into play in a couple of places. That last fight is actually one of them where the Zubat, I think, is actually faster in Alpha Sapphire than it is in Omega Ruby. So in Omega Ruby, you can outspeed it with like mediocre speed. But in Alpha Sapphire, you need really high speed in order to outspeed it. So that kind of difference is going to come into play a couple of other places as well. It actually came into play with the second Poochyena fight we mentioned. For basically the exact same reason. The Poochyena in this game was faster than in Omega Ruby.
Which one?
The Rusturf Tunnel one.
It's faster in Omega Ruby.
Oh, it's faster in Omega Ruby.
Yeah.
Okay.
You almost never need to Rock Tomb it here. I Rock Tombed it because of my special attack.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's one of the only advantages. Most grunts have unfavorable natures in Alpha Sapphire as well. Like the Zubat in the museum here has plus defense, neutral speed in this, while it has neutral defense and negative speed in Omega Ruby.
Yep.
Which makes it both a worse range and you're less likely to outspeed it in this game. So
yeah,
great
like,
stuff.
That Zubat, I mean, the Carvanas as well, because they don't go down in one hit. But that Zubat is one of the main reasons why Alpha Sapphire does an actual Pokemart shopping trip in Rustboro, where in Omega Ruby you can get away with skipping it. In the best case, it's faster to skip that mart. But like in this run, actually, it would have been bad to skip just because you needed the super potions on Hideki as well. So this fight's kind of funny. The Plusle and Minoon actually don't have moves that can damage you because you are ground type now. So all they can do are Bestow, Switcheroo, and Encore, which we just saw. Encore's not bad because you switch to Mudshot before it can used Encore. I think you actually started with Mudshot, but
Yeah, I always start with Mudshot. Wow. I low rolled into high rolled. Nice.
that's actually perfect. If you, both of them are holding an Oran Berry, so if you knock them down below half health, they end up healing 10 HP. That's actually one other reason why unequipping, that's the word, the Silk Scarf is nice, because you're not holding a move, the first Plusle can use Bestow against you, where Bestow would fail if you were holding an item. And by bestowing, it doesn't have the Oran Berry anymore, which means it doesn't heal when you knock it below half health.
And
This fight.
Infamous Rival 2. I'm gonna make it fairly safe because I skipped buying an X attack and bought one more X special attack. Which makes this, I think, not a range. Time to find out. It might actually be a range. So 1.
This fight has a ridiculous
2.
amount of X items.
Don't burn me, please. 3. So we would normally stop here with X special attacks, but with this special attack I'm using a 4th one. And I get burned. Nice.
The 10%.
And with nice, he means not nice.
Thanks for clarifying.
The only kind of nice part about it is we're dealing with Echoed Voice here, which is a special move, so getting burned doesn't have the damage that we're going to do like it would if we were trying to use like Rock Tomb or something.
Yeah.
Which is another strat that is bad and no one should do it.
It exists. Let's put
It exists, yeah. Oh my god, with 4 special attacks, you only did half to this level. You can do over half with only 3 if you have a decent special attack.
I think I'm dead to quick attack. If let's find out.
Quick attack plus burn.
Okay, I didn't get quick attack anyway.
You were dead. I'm pretty sure, because quick attack does like 10 or 11.
At this defense, it does 8 to 9.
Oh, okay, so you were fine. Your defense is hidden behind your life split.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, right. It's because I forgot about that. Okay, Rival 2 is down. Was kind of scary, but we did it.
Yeah, and that is the last fight where we're going to use a special move for another like half an hour. So our bad special attack doesn't matter right now anymore. At least until then. At which point the bad special attack doesn't really matter for like dangerousness, it just matters for speed.
I think it's still worth saving for.
I would.
But yeah, we're not using special moves for a while now. I think we're only gonna use 3 more. Technically 4. Because Electric Gym is a thing.
Yep.
Okay, let's get our bike. We have the choice between the Mark bike and the Acro bike. And Acro bike is much cooler, but we are picking the Mark bike because it's fast. We're not going to immediately use it because it's faster to run to this shop and then use it.
You should create a category extension where you have to pick the acro bike and you have to be wheelied the whole time.
Have fun verifying that.
I actually wonder how much slower the acro bike would be.
I don't know.
it'd be multiple minutes, but like could probably get like a 3:15.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it takes also way more movement errors, probably. So.
Yeah. Way more time to react.
Yeah.
Actually,
Easier to do clean movement.
I actually forgot how slow it is in this game.
It's very slow. I mean, it's not like in Gen 3 the Mach Bike is ridiculous. You move incredibly fast. I forget the exact. I want to say it's like 4 frames per tile in a 60 frames per second game. Like it's ridiculously fast.
Yeah, it's like the first tile you travel, I think 16, then at the next one 8, and then it's 4 from onwards.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's why watching someone nail the movement with the Mach Bike in Gen 3 is really satisfying to watch.
Shoutouts to Shiru666 in the chat. Probably the best Gen 3 runner out there.
He's an amazing runner of Gen 3, yeah, indeed. Also somehow managed to make it interesting to watch. Because Sapphire is very, 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 very rough. It's very brutal, you can die almost everywhere. Except on Titan Liza. That fight is free.
You know a speedrun is fun when there is literally a strat in the original Sapphire that is X speed and adapt. Like, that is the strat. It's absolutely ridiculous. This game is so much. I mean, it's still a difficult run. It still, you know, takes time to get good at it, but it is so much easier than original Sapphire.
Yeah, and especially in terms of safety, this run is better in that aspect.
Wow, not even doing the cool movement for the first room of this.
That's cool movement.
You just go up to hit the red switch before you fight him.
Oh yeah, the movement that I mess up every time I do it.
Yep. Yeah, one of the cool things with the movement in this game, obviously you guys have already seen it, but in contrast to previous games, you can actually move diagonal, and in the overworld, you can use the circle pad to move mostly freely. There is still some weird tile relationships when it comes to like doors and corners and stuff, but for the most part, you can move freely. And so one of the things it allows you to do is talk to trainers from the diagonal. In X and Y, you actually have to approach the trainer facing diagonal in order to talk to them. But in this game, they made a really big quality of life improvement where you can be, like, let's say the trainer that he's fighting right here, it was to his upper right. He can face either up, upright, or right and still talk to that trainer if he just hits A. In XY, you would have had to come at him from the bottom left. But it makes for some interesting movement optimizations that you can do.
I still think talking to them diagonally is faster because you don't turn.
Yes, it would be faster, but it's... I don't want to learn all new movement.
I actually know a few of those movements, but if you mess them up, it's so slow.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth trying to do that. So this is the safest split of all of them. I don't think it's technically possible. Probably technically possible to die if you get magical leaf crit because you missed your range on rolls and then you get crit on every single turn. I think it's like the only scenario where you could die here, but this is very, very safe.
I mean, if you go for the faster Watson, you could die.
That's true.
But just don't do that.
And even then it's unlikely.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Watson has a Magneton. The Magneton's going to outspeed you. You could skip the X speed and just try not to get hit by Supersonic, but Supersonic's basically 100% accurate.
Basically.
And then
Basically.
And then you're 100% to hit yourself, so just don't.
Want to talk about the last used item?
Oh yeah. So I think every DS game, so every game since Generation 4 has this concept of a last used item. When you go into your item bag in battle, you've got the 4 different options for like pockets, and then there's a last use item. We're actually going to be using that quite a bit throughout the run to set ourselves up for future fights. So on the Rival 2 fight, the last item he used was an X speed. He needed to use his X specials and X speeds and heal himself, but he purposely did it so that the X speed was the last use item, because that is the next used item in battle for this one. So he's going to purposely set it up so X speed is last, and then the next item he needs to use the X speed and just quickly, use that quick access. It's going to be used a couple times throughout the run. Ideally, actually, let me think. I don't know the Alpha Sapphire route through Mount Chimney. Do you use the X attack as the next item after the Makuhita fight?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to come into play in like another 10 minutes.
You actually use it twice after that.
Do you X attack on the double?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I remember that now.
It is technically optional, but I maximized the usage of X attacks, which I saw nobody else do. That's also why money is a bit rough in my route.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, I even skipped an X attack, which means I will hope that Archie does the thing.
It's way more likely to do the thing in this game than in the other one.
Yeah, that's at least what I had the impression of.
So now is the beginning of Mudkip turning into our HM friend. We didn't catch anything to learn like Serve for Strength or Rock Smash or Cut. All of them are going to get taught to our Mudkip throughout the run. Cut is actually not mandatory to beat the game, so we skipped that earlier. But we're going to teach Rock Smash here. These Rock Smash rocks can get encounters, which we did not get. Very nice.
Free ether.
Yep, completely useless, sadly.
So now our water starter don't have any more water type moves.
Exactly, got the very powerful Rock Smash instead.
I wish Rock Smash was like 80 power. It'd be so much better.
It can become 60 power if you, if you get to 50%.
It was also already a little bit improved, right? I think first, when did Rock Smash get introduced? I think it was 20 power when it got introduced.
Oh, God.
And then it went up to 40.
Yeah.
I think. But
Like, it definitely has its uses in this run, but it's not very nice.
Raspberry.
Nice. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell in this game which tile you're exactly on when you use the circle path.
That one was
Yeah.
kind of sketchy, honestly. I wasn't sure even until I saw the text.
Yeah, that was one of those things I was mentioning earlier with the circle pad movement. You have free range of movement, but you're still kind of on a tile. So like, there's a lot of places where you're gonna look like you can get around this corner or enter a door, and you're just not, because the game thinks you're technically on the other tile, so you just start bonking. That was a case of the game thought he was on the tile to the right instead of the tile in the middle.
To be fair, here I just messed up. I pressed A, even if I saw that I was a little bit too much to the right. Like, I could tell that was probably not good, but... Okay, I saved before this fight because this Bagon has Dragon Breath, which is 30% to paralyze you. So I didn't want to risk this, especially since this Makuhita can also paralyze you.
Yeah, the Makuhita...
Yes.
I was gonna say the Makuhita almost always goes for fake out, so because you don't one-shot it with Bulldoze, you just set up an X attack and then you can one-shot it the next turn. Because we didn't catch any other Pokemon, the Makuhita also has the move Whirlwind, which comes into play sometimes in Wonder Trade races. But if it decides to use Whirlwind, after you use your X attack instead of using Fake Out, then that's just really sad.
I think this is the only run where you actually don't catch anything besides the legendary, besides in Sun Moon.
No,
Like you don't catch any other regular Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, in Sun Moon you don't. I mean, you don't in... Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Retro. I was
Thank
thinking
you.
Sword and Shield. Oh, no, never mind. We actually catch a lot of Pokemon there.
It's mandatory.
You catch like 5
Oh.
things.
I guess you go through without catching.
You have to catch.
Slower.
Well, all right, yeah, you could technically get away with catching nothing if you grabbed the Toxel.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, that makes
no.
sense. I was gonna point out the double battles, but then, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you'd have to
yeah,
get
yeah.
the Toxel, and that would just be sad.
It would gain so many levels, but it doesn't learn any moves. So
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah,
You also get experience candy from it.
Good point from Garth that you actually catch Peaky Pack.
oh yeah, because there's also mandatory double battle. I should know that, but well,
So this is the only game where you don't catch
Oh.
anything other than the
Only,
legendary.
only glitchless, yeah. Very cool.
Garth
Can I
always has to ruin every random.
Finish your point now. I'll...
You're cutting out Pollister.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just gonna say, finish up what you were gonna say, and I'll.
Ah,
take
no,
over.
that's fine. You can talk now.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to talk about the upcoming incentive for the Latias name. That's been stuck where it is for quite a while. We have Cybird in first place with $20, John Cena with $6, and me with $5. So yeah, if any of those catch your fancy, I encourage you to donate now.
And it's gonna be Latias in this game, obviously. Latias is Omega Ruby. So if that helps you deciding what name to pick.
You can tell because there's an AS at the end of the name for Alpha Sapphire.
Ooh.
Oh, so that's what it means.
That's actually how I keep it straight.
It's not because you just know it.
No.
Okay.
Latios is OS for Omega Ruby.
That's canon now.
It's canon now.
I wish there was a game called Delta Emerald that is not a remake. But that actually would have Latios and Kyogre.
That would be cool. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it more. The Kyogre is a lot better. Actually, not a ton better, but it is definitely faster. So
Yeah, Kyogre special attack is just immensely good. And it also gets stab on its ability. Why Groudon doesn't. So it's one reason why it's not as fast. But definitely just makes the run still possible. So
yeah, like it not only gets stabbed for its ability, but like its ability uses, or the type of its ability uses the attacking stat that Kyogre excels at. Where for Groudon it doesn't really.
I swear I'm at the right angle game. I don't even want
Yeah, the game just screwed you over there. There's
Less
a
than.
you may not believe it, but there's a comet shard. There it is, in the middle of that.
That's the hardest execution of the game, by the way. Not kidding. Like,
The game
not
really screwed him over there. Like the first couple, sure, but like he definitely should have gotten that up right angle.
So there he hops off the bike to line himself better up to dodge that hiker. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, because if I didn't do that, that would be the hardest execution of the game.
I've tried it once and I succeeded. Because I didn't know that that was actually a tight window, but I just went for it.
when I first ran this game, I wasn't really like I didn't watch any videos. I just was following routes, and I'm like, why is there a fight missing from the route? This fight is like mandatory.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you have to know that it's not optional. Nice. No. No, that's so bad. Why would you crit him? Oh no, he's just an... Oh, what do I do now?
A critical exclamation mark yellow text.
That's not good. Well... Grovyle is now slower than the Carvanha that's gonna come out.
That's amazing. So here the fights are also quite a bit different from Omega Ruby, where he has the coffin. And that coffin always booms.
Yeah, as I said, this fight in Omega Ruby is fun because it's like you bulldoze turn 1, don't hit the coughing because it has levitate, and then coughing booms anyways. And does it does more damage to the Mighty Yenna on its side than you do with bulldoze.
Yeah. Yeah, it really helps killing the Mighty Yenna.
Okay, all things considered, the fight was not even that terrible.
Does that bulldoze normally kill the Carvanha, or did it only kill because the Grovyle died?
It always kills it, because I used next attack.
Okay.
You don't usually do that, because you would hit the Grovyle too, but I was pretty certain the Grovyle was dead anyway.
Yeah. Fights like that are always cool, like from a casual perspective, in my opinion. Those fights are always cool where it's like, we like to call them true doubles. Basically, you're fighting 2 trainers with another trainer as your partner. But for speedruns, it's just, those fights can be rough because you have to rely on your partner to be smart. And sometimes Brendan is very smart, and sometimes he is very not smart. That time he didn't really have a chance to show off his smartness because you crit him, and then, or not you crit him, the Mud Bomb crit him, and then he just kept hitting himself in confusion. So. Yeah,
generally Brendan is alright in this fight. Because he just doesn't have enough bad moves to go forward.
Yeah.
Obviously you'd rather have him not use a contact move on the Carvanha, which he would do normally. But here he doesn't.
But does he tell you about type matchups?
No, that's why I'm not good at them yet.
That's why he likes to go for Pursuit against Mighty Yenna.
And actually does that against Carvanha as well sometimes. But it's very rare. There's something that prevents him from doing it almost every time. And now we're getting a free teleport to Mauville.
Yeah, that's also a nice introduction in this game. That you have to be at like a lot of different places after each other, and you just get like free transport to it. Whereas in Gen 3 we sometimes just are forced to death warp to go fast.
I like to think.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I like to think that Game Freak got a bunch of angry letters after Generation 3 of parents of kids who didn't know where to go. And they were like, "Fine, we'll just add free teleportation."
Yeah.
I can vouch for that. I got stuck in Slateport as a kid.
Even as
I
a
think I got
non-kid.
stuck too.
Even as a non-kid, I got stuck, and I also got stuck because I just couldn't figure out where dive is.
Oh, or the even when you have dive, to find like that little hideout thing under the water was also a really struggle to find. It's like in the middle of nowhere in the ocean. Pretty rough.
Too much water.
7.8.
Time for a couple
agrees.
donations?
Yep.
Alright, a little bit of a warning. Turn down your volumes just a hair, because we have $25 from Cypher, and their comment is, and his name is John Cena! And, thank you very much for that music. Yeah, their money, of course, is going towards naming the Latias John Cena, and that takes the lead, $31 over the side. What was the name again? I believe it was Cybird, which has 20. So John Cena currently in the lead, and we have just a little bit left to go. We also have $10 from Jordan97, and they say, good luck, Wartab, and shout out to everyone on Couch for waking up earlier than I could for this run. Thank you all for your generous donations. You can turn your volume back up now.
Alright.
So now we're
It
on
is a
Mount.
little bit early.
Now we're on Mount Chimney. Yeah, I'm sorry, Etiquette. What time is it for you now? 6?
It's 6:18. We're good. Yeah, so Mount Chimney is probably the biggest time loss for Omega Ruby in the early game over Alpha Sapphire. These Grimers that he's facing are Coughings, and there's just no good way to deal with the Coughings.
Yeah, you have to use Rock Tomb, and they also have Smoke Screen that makes it already less accurate than it already is. It's pretty rough.
And you have to hit it 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make the Coughings better by teaching Strength early, but then you have to deal with two-shotting the Golbat on Maxi. So it's just not pleasant. Although I will say this fight here is one of my favorite, not because of how like fast it is, but because it's just a meme. In Omega Ruby, this Coughing lead you just have no way to deal with. And if you try to use like an X attack, he has the move Clear Smog, which will negate your stat changes. So the strategy is Rock Tomb until he blows up.
Yep.
Make sure you're above the health that you would die at, and then just keep Rock Tombing.
Where are these fights when I do PB attempts? Just took no damage on her.
Mm-hmm. And then this Maxi fight, or Archie fight, is another case of why Alpha Sapphire is nice here. For 2 different reasons. One, an ideal fight here, you'll notice that Wartab equipped the Persim Berry. Persim Berry will heal Confusion. So an ideal fight here gets Swagger from the Mightyena, which in Alpha Sapphire is fairly common. But in Omega Ruby, it's maybe 50-50 or even worse odds to get Swagger. The other thing is in Omega Ruby, the Mightyena has the ability Intimidate, where in Alpha Sapphire he doesn't. So
Yeah, he has quick
Intimidate.
feet.
Yeah, he has quick feet. So Intimidate will lower your attack. So you not only don't get Swaggered, which boosts your attack by 2 stages, you start the fight at -1 attack. So trying to get up to +2 attack or +3 if your attack is really bad is just impossible.
While here, ending at +6 is very cool.
Mm-hmm.
There we have it. +2.
There you go.
+4. And
Yeah, I don't know what
sadly,
the ranges.
this is a range, sadly, because it doesn't have the same nature as in
Okay.
Omega Ruby, but it still died because of a good attack.
Nice.
So this is the best fight you can hope for, given these stats.
Right, yeah. Because his speed was not very good, he does have to X speed here twice. But this is the only fight, I think, with your speed that you have to change the strats. I think you're faster than Norman, right?
I'll see. I'll use all my X speeds on Norman. I only need 1 on Norman.
Okay, cool.
Okay, that's Archie down. And
Yeah,
Omega
pretty
Ruby.
nice, no deaths.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no deaths there rather than the Hideki fight. So far.
Yeah, and me messing up the Mudkip naming.
Force killing the Mudkip.
And I ended up getting one that was probably worse, but so far so good.
Yeah, the other one had at least plus attack or plus speed, so...
Alright, now a bit more of menuing. So you saw that I equipped the Person Berry, so I'm in my berry menu, so I can immediately use a Leper Berry to heal my Bulldoze PP. Gonna also Super Potion and equip the Soft Sand. And we're back to the game. So, oh yeah, Soft Sand obviously is like Silk Scarf boost, except it boosts your ground moves by 20% instead of normal moves. So very useful for Bulldoze.
Aligning yourself to the left there so you can just go straight down without having to worry about any trainers.
It always looks like that hiker's gonna see you, but he never does.
One day he's gonna see me because my repel is gonna expire so late.
Yeah.
I actually wonder when that could happen. Hasn't happened to me yet, and I went very far down for that repel text here.
Luckily, you don't take fall damage in this game.
No realism. I'm sorry, Retro.
Literally unplayable.
She like lands on her knees too. Like that's gotta hurt. Never noticed that.
Knees of steel.
Pokemon games are hardcore. A lot
At
of
least
crazy
it's-
stuff.
Probably still better than getting shot out of a cannon.
I mean, true.
But that's also Pokemon.
Children's game. Can we take a moment to talk about the chair you have to stand on? The office chair in Let's Go. That's got to be the worst one.
Yeah.
Yeah, how it's mandatory.
Exactly.
And you cannot even like use anything else. That would
Yeah.
potentially work.
All right. So Flannery here is the
Hottest gym
Last-
leader.
yeah. It's all right.
Fire type, we get it.
Literally.
It's the last case of us having to use our special moves, or at least the last one where like our special attack really matters. And it's because of the Torkoal. So ground is obviously super effective against fire. Water is as well, but we don't have any water moves anymore. So we're going to be using, Bulldoze. But the Torkoal, Torkoal is a very physically bulky Pokemon. So we're actually going to switch to using Mud Shot for the Torkoal to go for a 2-shot, because Bulldoze would be a 3-shot, and you'd probably knock it into heal range and all that kind of stuff.
So yeah, about that.
Are you going to do Bulldoze?
I have 13 to 14 special attack negative, and only at 14 it starts becoming a range. So, and it's an 11% range. Yikes.
Yeah, so probably what's going to happen is instead of going for the range, because it's not very likely, he's just going to use Rock Smash in the middle just to like deal a little bit of chip damage. So that way knocks him under half.
I think it's not gonna be enough. I use Rock
say
Tomb
Rock
instead.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Torkoal's not very dangerous. He has Body Slam, and Body Slam is 90% to paralyze. So no, Body Slam's only 30% to paralyze, but it happens a lot. So it's very good that you got Sunny Day. Even though Sunny Day is technically like a longer animation, it's better overall to see something like Sunny Day and then Overheat.
Yeah, even if that forces me to heal now, but yeah. You could use Curse too. That is what I wanted to see, but didn't get.
Curse is another reason why you want to go for special moves against the Torkoal. Curse boosts his defense, so even if like Bulldoze was a 2-shot, after one Curse it wouldn't be, most likely.
And we get in another teleport to Petalburg this time.
How convenient. I think that's where the next gym is.
Wow, what are the odds?
But more importantly, you also got the Go goggles.
Get that desert candy.
Shout out to Chiru for Desert Candy.
This gym sucks, by the way. Just overall.
Daddy issues.
This first fight here is I think one of the Mudkips we got was female and the rest were males, and we commented on the female one. This fight here is the reason why a female Mudkip is nice. Delcatty has so every room in this gym is going to have a gimmick. This one is going to use an accuracy to try and boost the accuracy of its Sing move. It also likes to use Attract, which Attract will give you a 50-50 chance of being immobilized by love if you are the opposite gender of the Pokemon. So turn 3 there, he had a 50-50 chance of getting through, and he did, which is nice. If he didn't, he would likely get put to sleep and then double slap, and it's just a very slow fight. The gimmick in this room is it's the recovery room. So if you knock the Lanoon to low enough health, it is going to use a super potion to heal back its health. So there's a few different ways this fight can go. It really depends on what the Lanoon does. Lanoon has a move called Covet, which will steal the held item of the Pokemon that it hits. So it will steal your soft sand away. And by stealing your soft sand, Bulldoze does less damage, which means you're more likely to knock him into heal range instead of killing him. So it's a very variable fight.
And we got it. That's sad. Gonna heal this, because Fury Swipes can do this amount of damage. Oh, bestowed my soft sand. What do I do?
That's actually annoying.
Rock Tomb.
Yeah. Yeah, by bestowing... So the strategy there is to do Bulldoze... If you get Covet, you do Bulldoze, Mudshot, Bulldoze. And that does enough damage, but doesn't knock him into heal range. But because he bestowed him, Mudshot would have knocked him into heal range. So it was kind of awkward. The gimmick in this next room is it's the one-hit KO room. He's going to try to kill you in one hit, so he's going to use a dire hit and then go for a move, hoping that he's going to critical hit you. With the stat thresholds that we use, this fight should not... he can't KO you in one hit, even with a critical.
So sorry for this messy play right now. My parents actually have an issue with their car, so hopefully nothing too bad.
You should lend them Brendan so they can teleport with him.
That would be great.
Give him your moving truck. And then comes the worst gym leader in the game.
Okay. This is an awful fight. Requires a lot of setup. We need to use 4 X attacks, 1 X defense and 1 X speed. And sometimes we need even like 2 X speeds. But in this case we don't. Because our speed is just good enough to need only 1. Also, what you can see me do when I'm saving is a small optimization. Is I'm menuing, entering a room, and then I'm saving, doing a few steps afterwards, because you cannot close the menu and save immediately. There's a recovery phase before you can actually interact with the menu again. So when you want to save, do that. Alright, less RNG here. This is a really bad fight.
Yeah, basically the only reason this fight is somewhat winnable is because Slacking has an ability called Truant, which means every other turn he is going to not listen to his trainer. So typical way this fight goes, you're going to set up an X defense that allows you to tank 2 hits from this slacking and tank 1 hit from the other slacking. And then start setting up your X items. You need 4 X attacks and typically 1 X speed, but sometimes you need 2 X speeds if your speed is really bad. Then once all the X items are set up, you heal off your sleep. And then if you only used 1 X speed, it's actually kind of cool. You hit the slacking on a truant turn, and then the next turn he is slower than you because you used bulldoze, and you can one-shot him, or you can two-shot him even though he isn't truant on that turn. So you'll see he was faster than you there, but now he's slower. Vigoroth goes down in 1 hit, and then the second slacking you have to heal for because he's going to get a move off no matter what, and he would kill you obviously from 21 health. And it's very rare, but the second slacking also has swagger, which is just annoying.
Yeah, so you don't want to be at full HP, because otherwise he may actually go for swagger here. If you're low HP, you usually go for the kill.
Yeah. And he has 2 moves. It's actually really nice. Chip Away is a move, I believe, that will ignore your defensive stat changes.
Exactly. So it always does the same damage, and it never can kill. Even if at the lowest defense and HP, it cannot kill you.
Yeah. So yeah, very good fight.
Time for a donation?
Sure.
Okay, we have a lead change on the Latias name thanks to a $32 donation by Giratina. And they say, I don't know, I just like Latias like a cute burb. And of course, as you might have guessed already, Cute Burb is taking the lead with $32 over John Cena's 31. So it's up in the air who's going to actually take this. So keep those donations coming if you want your favorite name to be the Latias' nickname. Of course, all of your donations are going for all your donations are going towards keeping future ESA events running at the highest quality for attendees and viewers alike. So thank you all for your generosity so far, and keep them coming.
Yeah, you also need to be quick if you want that name change, because actually Latias is coming up quite soon.
It's like 4 minutes from now, yeah.
Yeah, except if I die. Because
this fight's actually dangerous.
Yeah, it's not likely to die, but it's still possible if Steven misses. Because he's using... what was the move again?
Zen Headbutt.
Zen Headbutt. It's 90% accurate, and if he misses that, it's kind of rough.
Just don't miss, lol.
Like, what needs to happen for that to go badly is he needs to miss the move and not get targeted. So we teach strength, because our Marshtomp is slowly but surely getting a complete HM slave.
Yeah, it's actually really convenient that Marshtomp learns like every HM that is necessary to beat the game. The only HMs you actually need to beat the game are Surf and Strength, Rock Smash, and Rock Smash is only necessary for that one boulder that you saw us do. You actually don't need Rock Smash for the rest of the run. Waterfall and Dive later on. So Marshtomp learns all of those. Obviously that's 5, and Marshtomp only has 4 move slots, so we're going to teach Waterfall to something else, but it's really convenient that it's, just learns everything that you need.
Okay, this is a Latios. This is not a Latios. Can I get you, please?
Make sure you nickname, by the way.
Oh yeah, nickname. Nickname.
It's not for a little bit,
Yeah,
but
the nickname.
It's gonna be like in 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes. So if you want to get in the name, do it now. What is winning right now?
Currently, it is still Cute Burb. So, last chance, start getting your donation in now, or be silent, or donate for the Kyogre name.
Okay, I'm gonna save here for the rare chance to die. Because if we die here, it is really awful. There's no easy way to come back here. Because you will just return to your last Pokemon Center. And we entered no Pokemon Center. So the last Pokemon Center is your house in Little Root Town. And there is no way to get here in a reasonable amount of time. It takes about 4 minutes to get here. And there's a ton of optionals on the path. Because Brian is no longer here. So yeah, it's rough.
I miss Courtney.
I don't know who Courtney is.
Okay, didn't miss. Great. I got targeted by Slash. Didn't even get swaggered. Oh, he missed Swagger. Great. Oh, and I crit the Sharpedo. That's great. That's amazing.
That's really good.
Pretty nice.
Normally this is anyway a 2-turn, but Metang for some reason didn't damage the Sharpedo. I didn't see what happened. Did he
He
miss?
used Metal Claw, but it didn't.
Oh,
It did not a lot.
but oh yeah, right, because he usually gets swaggered. I think. I don't remember. But the crit mattered, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, nickname. Latios.
Okay, well, we had a last-minute $40 donation from Grazia saying, "Take good care of Candy Floss." So, your name for the Latios is Candy Floss, capital C.
Wow.
Can you imagine? More memes.
The snipe.
Who did this?
Yeah, I wonder who did that. Thanks, Gracia.
So because it's Candy Floss, that means it's modest, right?
Ooh.
15 IV, no stats.
That doesn't work.
That would actually be bad.
That would actually be bad, yeah. For a modest nature, at least.
Yeah, so we're gonna teach Surf to the Latios, basically right away. I think you do your movement first, but we'll get to see the stats then, and we'll know how bad the Latios is.
Yeah.
Notice how I said how bad and not how good.
It's more likely to be bad than good. That's the issue.
Yeah.
We're talking like 75% odds to not be good. Oh yeah, 80% to not be good. Like 5% to be okay, and then the rest is just
Yeah.
good.
The one saving grace is, like I mentioned earlier, legendaries are guaranteed to have 3 of their 6 stats at 31 IV, which is the highest possible. Now the nature isn't guaranteed, so you could have like 31 IV special attack with a minus special attack nature, but you are guaranteed to have 3 stats being perfect. So there's decent odds that you'll have either special attack, speed, or both of them at 31. But then the nature comes into play.
Also notice how we can bike through tall grass. Okay,
Yep.
let's check this out. Okay, we wasted one IV on
HP.
HP. Okay, okay, I'm taking this.
Oh yeah.
Speed might be an issue still.
Wasn't it plus speed?
Yep, but it's sadly not enough. That is
Okay,
a
so I
low
didn't get
IV.
either. Yeah, okay.
You should be faster than Sceptile, right?
There's a chance, yeah.
I think 78 is the cutoff I usually use.
But we have 31 IV in special attack, and that's what matters.
Yeah, it is a hasty nature. So it's minus defense plus speed. Minus defense is actually kind of bad.
Latias is fine for that. It has 24 to 26 IV, so I'm not too worried.
Oh, okay, that's yeah.
So I equipped a Person Berry here because there's a few Pokemon here that have Swagger, and hitting your 7 Confusion is kind of bad, especially since we have good attack and not so good defense.
Do we even use any physical attack moves, by the way, or?
Maybe.
Yes.
I
I'll
have
make
no
a
idea
review.
about Latias.
We use 1.
Yeah, there's a chance we use fly
Oh, fly,
and
of course.
then
yes.
miss it or get detected.
Yeah, I had a really good run recently that was on a 2-minute PB pace, and that died to missing fly.
Yeah, so that right there was the first of many Mightyena, and every Mightyena is a 2-shot. And every Mightyena, aside from the very last one that you face, has moves like Swagger, Scary Face, Assurance. But then they have some nice moves like Embargo or Taunt. That when you see those, it's actually very nice. Except for the last Mightyena, in which case Embargo is bad.
Yep.
Are we missing the range, really? Okay, never mind. This range is actually only guaranteed at 82 special attack,
Oh my god.
and we have 80.
And 80 is like as good as you can hope for. Like, it's
Yeah.
not as good as you want, but it's as good as you can hope for realistically.
Yeah, everything about that is obviously unreasonable to expect. But it is fairly reasonable to expect 31 IV in special attack, because that's like a 50-50.
Right.
And we got our Cast Form. Cast Form is useful because it's also like in Gen 3, holding a Mystic Water. And therefore can boost our water moves by 20%. Lot of boosts in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And notice how there's no rain here? That's why we set the date to 15th of February. I'm probably the only guy who does that.
Yeah, it matters for this fight, and then that's it. And I think the only thing that you actually save is the rain is falling text at the
And
beginning of the
A
fight.
bit of lag in the battle.
A bit of lag, yeah. I will say, for how sad of a Pokemon it is, Slugma at night looks really cool.
Oh yeah, we have nighttime. I rarely have nighttime here. And people playing Omega Ruby will immediately notice the lack of damage from Dragon Breath here.
To answer a question in chat from Mike the Magician, yes, an optimal Latias would be probably an adamant, or not adamant, modest nature. So plus special attack, minus speed,
No.
or minus attack.
Rash.
Wait, what would you want? You'd want Rash?
Yeah, because you don't.
Oh, because of Fly. Yeah.
yeah.
So it would be plus special attack, minus special defense, 31 IVs, and that's special attack and speed for sure.
Yeah, the only
I don't-
special moves you tank in this game is Water Pulse from from the Whalmer we just fought. So yeah, your special defense does not matter at all.
For Latios, it would be modest for sure.
So if you had rain, then Water Pulse would also be powered up a little bit, but that would probably still not matter, right?
No. Obviously, if I get in an adamant, a modest Latias, I will not complain.
Yeah.
Adamantius.
Adamant, we can complain.
Time for this intriguing battle.
Also, we mentioned earlier, but to put in perspective, an Adamant, with the exact same IV spread, an Adamant Latios would be better than this one. Well, actually, no. The bad speed would be bad, but the special attack for an Adamant Latios is better than neutral attack or special attack for
Latias, yeah.
For Latios, yeah.
It's really rough, but this is enough. Like honestly, you can two-shot everything with this, reasonably speaking.
Right.
I'm gonna still look into one sec. I'm gonna look into if I need the rare candy anyway. I might make a small detour for rare candy for this Latias.
Just the one before Pyre, right?
Yep. One of
Okay.
them. I need to check. It is for a Sharpedo that I'm gonna fight. I don't care so much about outspeeding Sceptile, because he can use agility anyway. But agility is if you are faster than him, it has the advantage that agility is a turn he's less likely to detect on.
Yeah, true.
That's how I look at it.
So do you just never X speed on that fight?
I do if I don't outspeed.
Oh, no,
this-
yeah. That's
the-
right. I misinterpreted what you said.
I don't X-speed if I'm slower than Sceptile, but I X-speed if I'm also slower than Swallow.
Okay.
I think saving would have been smart here.
This gym blows.
God.
Someone call Garth, I want retro replaced.
Oh man.
He has it all prepared.
Okay, so I will not outspeed the Sharpedo. I don't think I will outspeed with the rare candy either. I will actually, so I'm gonna pick that up.
So this is the first of two Swallows that can definitely troll you. The Swallows have the move Double Team, which will increase their evasiveness, which makes them hard to hit. So, ideally, what happens is you get Double Team a lot, and then you just actually hit the Swallow. But sometimes that doesn't happen. Missing once there, that's not too bad.
Could be worse.
And then because he used 3x special attacks here, nothing here should be a range. So, actually, I don't know. Is Mist Ball and Pelipper a range at +3? Probably not.
No. It is with 15 negative special attack.
Oh my god. That's the other thing is they not only does Latios have better stats than Latias. The special move it gets, like Latias here gets Mist Ball, and then Luster Purge is on Latios. Like Luster Purge is a better move too, so it's not even like you can make up for it.
Is it?
By having
No.
the better move? I thought it was like 5 power more.
I'm not sure. I think it's the same power, but I'm not gonna say that with a 100% certainty.
I'm
I
getting
think
ready
it's both,
for Garf to just
think it's
correct me.
both 70 or 80. I think it's 70.
Oh, they are 70. Look at that.
Yep. Both 70.
Luster Purge can lower the target special defense, though, which matters.
Get wrecked, Miss Ball.
See? What did I say? I was getting ready for Garf to correct me. He's in chat. He says it's the same power.
I was
Scarf.
99% sure it was the same power. I knew one drops one stat and another one drops the other one drops the other special stat, but I don't know which one does what.
So Luster Purge is just a worse psychic.
Basically, yeah. A 20
Except-
power worse psychic.
Except it's 50% instead of 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it only has 5 PP.
Oh no, streamer, it was raining on the route. Oh no. Should get that fixed.
God, I've not seen somebody do the movement like you just did there in a while, so I was very scared you were gonna hit somebody.
What? Is that not the default movement?
I go through the grass at the
Oh.
very end. I go above
I
them.
went through the grass as well, yeah.
I have just like no visual cue for that.
Yeah, it's very much a I think this angle's good kind of movement.
Yep.
So I forgot to get the easy rare candy, so I gotta get the hard one.
This one is like stupidly hard to get.
This one is, I think, optimally faster, but it's not easy to get the optimal movement, so just get the other one. It is like half a second faster to get the this one if you don't mess it up. I messed it up, so it was slower. So you don't normally pick up that rare candy in a PB attempt. I would also not pick it up, but yeah, let's just not talk about it.
Marathon strat.
So something that's interesting about the way that this game works for a speedrun, for like not optional battles, but like, you know, trainer battles. After the Aeron that we fight before Meteor Falls, like about an hour into the run, there are no non-grunt trainers that you have to fight outside of gyms until you get to the Victory Road. In addition, after Gym 5, there are no trainers in gyms that are mandatory till the end of the game. So it's actually, you're not like under leveled necessarily, but your level never gets to the point. A lot of times in speedruns, for Pokemon, you're over leveled at some point. That never really happens in this run. Like you can see the level discrepancy here. You're 33 against the Grimer who's 36. And that definitely comes into play a lot, where there's a lot of, you know, fights that aren't just like a 3-turn fight because you have 3 Pokemon you're facing. There's more X items you have to use and that kind of stuff.
Yep. And the rare candy actually helps me here in this section a lot, because the Grimer without the rare candy would have been an 11 and 16 range, but since I crossed the level 33 threshold, it was guaranteed. Also, 33 is just like since it's giving me a huge power boost, it will also make the next fight here against this Mightyena much better, for example. So I can actually Dragon Breath turn 1 here. And hope for a paralysis, which I didn't get.
Yeah, because of the way the damage calculation works, having a level that ends in 0, 3, 5, or 8 just gives you a little bit more damage because of the way the rounding works. Having the same stat, like if you had 80 special attack, let's say, at level 30, 31, and 32, you'd be dealing the exact same damage. Well, depending on the damage roll you actually get, but the damage roll is going to be the exact same. As soon as you get up to 33 for the level, even if you had the same special attack stat, you're going to be dealing more damage. So most of the time, when you use a rare candy in a Pokemon speedrun, it's like carefully calculated to be at a point where you're going to hit one of those thresholds. But yeah.
Yeah, so most of these things would not have died to the moves I just used. And more importantly, I have 88 speed now, which is 2 speed higher than the upcoming Sharpedo.
Nice.
Yeah, that's not enough special attack to actually Mega Evolve here.
Last chance for Latias Popsicle.
And good thing I saved because I completely forgot to teach moves.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so because you're facing Sharpedos in this game, as opposed to the camera ups that you'd face in Omega Ruby, he took a very small detour. It was like 2 seconds out of the way to get the move Grass Knot. Grass Knot is obviously a grass move. Its power varies based on like the weight of the target. But typically Grass Knot is going to be able to take care of these Sharpedos. The downside is Sharpedos are very fast and have the move Ice Fang. Ice Fang is stupid and should be removed from the game. But basically it is 10% to flinch and 10% to freeze. So yeah, it's rough. That was not a pun on Rough Skin, I just realized.
And Grass Knot also has a disadvantage of actually being one of the rare special moves that actually also makes contact. So we even get Rough Skin text.
That's so weird.
Oh, hey, there's fog on this route.
You can see Retro is really traumatized.
Neat. I'm not traumatized. It's a great feature. I love it.
I had to run die to Fog Route yesterday.
Isn't it great?
It is great. Yeah, I had to think about you.
That is only a thing in Diamond Pearl Platinum, though. They actually removed that later for good reasons.
Yep. But you could just get defog.
So outspeeding this Sharpedo is actually really good. Because then it will allow you to actually be able to just two-shot it, because otherwise you will just get Ice Fang turn 1 and die to the second one. So the strat, if you're slower, is to either pick up that rare candy, which here could work because I could outspeed it, or you just lead Marshtomp, who cannot die to even a crit from Sharpedo, use Bulldoze, therefore drop its speed, and then immediately switch to Latias. Because Sharpedo does not use Ice Fang against Marshtomp, he uses Slash. So Latias cannot die to that and will outspeed, and then you can use Grass Knot. I'm gonna pick up this rare candy. I haven't checked if I need it, but...
Oh, sorry, you don't rare candy the Kyogre.
No.
And this is one of the only places we're going to use Fly, but we taught it to Latias for more than just being an HM. It's really the only spot in the game where you have to go somewhere that's not like immediately adjacent to where you are. You have to fly back here to Slateport, do a little cutscene, and then there are a few battles to do before moving on to Lily Cove. Doing some shopping here for the rest of the game. It's just convenient that Slateport is where you buy the X items, and Slateport is where you have to go to continue the story here.
Yeah, there are only 2 places where you can buy X items. It's Lakeport and Lily Cove, but Lily Cove is kind of stupid too.
It's the department store, so it's like on floor 3 or something silly like that.
I mean, you could technically do it if you were to buy Thunder. Maybe I should look into that.
Don't.
Yeah.
Actually, Thunder would be legit because you're
I've rain.
you're always in rain, yeah, or not always, but
Would be nice for War Rain, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
That's the strat. I looked into this. It's slower. But I didn't look into it considering you can also buy X items there.
You'd have to get the X items for Brendan before, because you can't get to the department store until after the fight. That's the only thing.
True. But you only... oh, no, that's rough. No, don't do that. Yeah, that was one... yeah, that was one of the problems. I remember now.
So yes, more Mighty Yenas here. Dude, you're just critting them all.
It's not a range with this special attack anyway. That sucks.
Yeah.
But it can definitely be one.
The damage of crits also got changed in Gen 6, where it does 1.5 times the damage instead of 2 times.
Yeah, this is also a part in Omega Ruby where you're sort of like playing with fire because Wartab's going to end up using, at least I think, you're going to use an Lepa Berry or an Elixir at some point soon.
Mm-hmm.
But in Omega Ruby, you actually pick up a PP up on a route and use PP up on Luster Purge to give it, or PP max on Luster Purge to give it 8 PP instead of only 5. And then you're sort of playing this part trying to manage your Surf and Luster Purge PP to avoid having to use any PP restoring items like an Elixir or a Lepa Berry. And that Mighty Yena there is one that you really want to surf, but you want to conserve your surfs as well. So you might go for like the Dragon Breath range on it.
Oops. I focus on what you were saying, not on the game.
Oh, sorry. At least you don't get punished where it's like, oh, the boat's gone.
Yeah.
Try again tomorrow.
And actually, if you say yes, there's a cutscene where he whistles. So it's not actually losing as much time as you think it does. Because he doesn't whistle if you mess that up. Which is not a reason to mess it up, because it's still slower.
Can I take a minute just now and talk about the Kyogre name incentive?
Sure.
Excellent. Well, the current leaderboard for the Kyogre name is as follows. Milady is in the lead with $40. Sheer Cold is in second with 10, and you is in third with $5. So if you like any one of those names, you can boost it with your donation, or if you have an idea of your own, you can boost that instead and send it up the leaderboards. First place gets to be the nickname for Kyogre. And while you're at it, if you donate enough money, you could be entered into the draw for some prizes. And let me pull that up and tell you real quick. For $15, you can enter the draw for a HyperX mouse pad. For $20, you could also be entered in the draw for a wireless mouse. And for $25, you could be entered into all of 3 draws for wireless headsets. So amazing prizes up for grabs thanks to our sponsor HyperX. So get those donations in for all of that amazing, interesting stuff. And Wartab, real quick, how long do we have for the Kyogre name incentive?
One sec. Whatever I told you plus 9 minutes.
Got it. Thank you very much. So you have about 25 minutes to go to get your donations in. So let's get the ball rolling.
This is actually the first time in my life I don't have to fly the Sceptile.
Yeah, this fight can be kind of rough, but it's got another Swallow lead, so it likes to go for double team. The Sceptile there has Detect, which is really trolly. It's got Dual Chop, which is a dragon move, which is super effective against your dragon type in Latios. So
but it can
definitely
miss.
can be a rough fight, but
Yeah, especially like this fight is, I would say, a bit better for Latias, since you usually need to set up less because you have Grass Knot. And it's also more bulky than Latios, and so it it usually doesn't die to two dual chops. While Latios, I think, almost every time dies to that. I don't should. That's stupid. So I just hit a spinner because he turned quicker than expected.
oof.
More XP.
This is actually not good at all because I don't know what he has, and I'm out of. I'm gonna X special this.
Grimer Carvana.
It's fine.
You should just serve a Carvana.
Hey. I'm sorry. Rough skin text is slower. And I didn't elixir again. Why do I always do stupid mistakes at marathons? It's a range anyway, so... Oh god, no. Please.
You're just showing people what not to do in a run.
That's right. It all started with picking this game, but...
Oh,
Agree.
I never admit to that.
Yeah, War Tab. So we've sort of mentioned a lot of the differences, but I don't know if we really talked about the two games are actually incredibly close time-wise as well. The fastest time for Omega Ruby is a 3:04, and the fastest time for Alpha Sapphire is a 3:06, but it's not on the leaderboards, so it'd be War Tab's 3:08. War Tab is pretty much the only one who has been spending a lot of time in Alpha Sapphire. There are some others, but a lot of the route is his, modified from some of the early routes. And Omega Ruby is typically considered the, more consistent and easier game. Where Alpha Sapphire may have a better top end, but is definitely more brutal to get through. To sort of showcase that point, in preparation for this marathon, War Tab did basically 2 no reset Omega Ruby runs, and the second one got within a minute of his Alpha Sapphire PB. So,
which is good because that hopefully convinces him to play more Omega Ruby later.
that was a really generous plant right there, by the way. Giving you a Master Ball.
That Master Ball pickup was also pretty clean because it's actually pretty hard to get the angle right, or at least quickly. Otherwise,
What? No. In Alpha Sapphire, it's literally free. You go behind
really?
all the items, you talk to the tree, and you get it. In Omega Ruby, you have to pick up a nugget, and then.
Oh yeah, that's.
But I can let Etiquette talk about that because he's an expert.
oh my god. Okay, so in the original games, the way it worked was there's the 4 Pokeballs, and I think it's the one below. So the one in the corner is the Master Ball. I think it's the one below it is the Nugget.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 are Electrodes. So you don't want to talk to them because then you're fighting a wild trainer. In this game, they changed it so it's the one in the corner is the Master Ball, and then the one diagonal to it. So if it's the top right, the bottom left one is the Nugget. So what you have to do is you have to grab the Nugget and then turn diagonal and grab the Master Ball, like through the 2 Electrodes. It's very easy when you're on really good pace runs to accidentally hit an Electrode and do that 3 runs in a row when you're on PB pace. And now we have an emote for it.
Yeah, I really didn't know it was different in Alpha.
Yeah. Alpha Sapphire, the setup is the same, so like the Nugget is diagonal, but you can actually go behind the bed. And then because of the thing we mentioned earlier where you can talk diagonal to something if you're facing if you're on the tile diagonal and facing either up or left or whatever, you can just talk to the tree and get the Master Ball that way.
Wow. That's so
Very cool.
easy.
Yes.
I don't think we mentioned this either. We haven't talked a lot about water trade races. We briefly mentioned them, but in this fight it's also a big advantage to have a multi-hit move, which we do in this game with Surf, that hits all targets. In water trade races, if you have nothing that is multi-targeting, you have to deal with everything one by one.
Oh my god, that fight is awful if you don't have a multi-target move.
Yeah, it is.
It's 5 Poochyena. They all have Roar. But if you have more than one Pokemon in your party, it's just like Roar, and then you switch out, Roar, switch back in. It is awful. And then in Elite Four Round 2, they bring that fight back. But it's Mighty-Yenas, and all 5 Mighty-Yena have Intimidate. So each one procs 1 by 1. And it gets to the point where if you're running an Omega Ruby and you have Groudon there, those 5 Intimidates are actually enough that Earthquake doesn't one-shot everything. Like, they're low level. You're level 57 or something like that, and they're level 25, but you don't one-shot them because of the 5 Intimidates on you.
Just Precipice Blades.
Just incinerate.
That's out of your way.
Yeah, but that's what I do.
And it's also the fact that Earthquake deals equal damage, even though it's split targets, but with Surf, I believe, the damage is split.
Yeah, it's 75%. If you hit something in a... if you hit 2 targets, or if you aim at 2 targets to be precise, it's 75% of the original damage.
You forgot to pet the Skitty again.
I don't do such things.
Wow.
Yeah, the it doesn't come up too often, but the Wartab's clarification there of if you aim at 2 targets, it splits the damage is actually semi-relevant because, for example, in the double fight in Meteor Falls in Omega Ruby, you use Bulldoze, and one of the opponents is a Coughing with Levitate. Even though that Coughing is levitating and you don't hit it, it still splits the damage between the Coughing and the Mighty-Yana, so you actually deal less damage because the Coughing is there, even though you don't actually hit it. You also hit the Slugma, but that's beside the point. And this fight here is one of the best things about running this game over original Gen 3.
Yep.
In Gen 3, this fight is trash.
The worst fight, yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah.
But in this game, it's really cool. I forget what generation they changed it in, but at some point they changed it so in double battles, you can actually use X items from one slot to the other. So what we can do is we can use Surf as Latios, and then from Marshtomp's slot, so Marshtomp picking a move, use an X special on the Latios. So instantly on turn 1, we get a +1 Surf off. And we're just going to do that twice, and that should take care of both the Lunatone and the Solrock.
Yeah, that was in Gen 5, if I remember correctly.
Okay. And before somebody in chat mentions it, because it almost always happens at some point, Tate and Liza's team in Emerald has 6 Pokemon, but in Ruby and Sapphire, they only have 2. So this is because it's a remake of them.
But which 2?
Yeah.
Also, it's called, I think it's called Liza and Tate here, which sounds a lot worse than Tate and Liza.
Yes. It's LMT. Ooh, the crit on the Soul Rock.
That's not
wow.
good. That's not good. Marshtomp is getting levels and has to decline teaching a move from that. Oh no, never mind. That's 32.
But you don't have to worry about sending in the cast form. That's slow, right?
Yeah, true. And you also split the experience gain, so it's actually better to not crit, but yeah.
But yeah, very easy fight
Yeah,
in this game.
ridiculously easy.
The only way it can really go wrong, and I'm saying this after the fight on purpose, because if I said it before, it would have happened. The Soul Rock can technically go for Sunny Day, which obviously makes your Surf do way less damage, but that almost never happens.
Yeah, it happened to me at one marathon. I think it was at ESA Winter 2019, where I got both a Sunny Day and Light Screen. And then I could eat my words that I had pronounced just before the fight because it took like 5 turns.
I've actually never seen Sunny Day in Omega Ruby. I don't know if there's like an actual AI difference, but I've actually never seen it in Omega Ruby.
It's extremely rare too here. I mean, I've never really seen it much here either.
Do we have some time for some quick messages?
Absolutely.
Alright, well, get your Iron Maiden merch out, because we have hit 666 sub points out of the 800 that HyperX, our sponsor, will be matching a $2.50 donation for each sub point. So yeah, if you like that number, then well done. If you don't like it, you should better get a sub in or gift a sub to somebody so we can get it out of the way quickly. And speaking of merch, did you ever want to get those comfy ESA shirts you keep seeing people wear at events? Well, you can get your own at our newly updated store. Visit www.speedrunstore.com to get yours now.
Can confirm those shirts are really comfy. They are comfortable and easy to wear, some would say.
Okay, shorts guy.
But Retro is very, very tall.
Okay.
This is a part of the game where things sort of slow down. Like we haven't had a lot of major cutscene breaks up until this point. But there's like in the next 20 to 30 minutes, there's like 3 fights total.
Yeah, this is where they already thought about doing Pokemon Sun Moon.
Yep.
What am I doing?
Nice corner.
And then I
Oh wow.
cut that way too. Game, please.
You did the thing. All right, I'm a little happy that happened. I'm sorry. It just shows how awful corners are in this game.
Just wow.
That's because I use the circle pad to go down, and if you're only just slightly to the right, you will just end up going back to where you didn't want to be.
The second room here in
yes.
Seafloor Cavern is my favorite room in the game.
Oh my god.
Wow, you are playing with fire there. Holy
I'm
crap.
scared of Spinner. This Spinner in particular is awful because he just ruins your PP management.
This room here looks like this crazy strength puzzle, but you don't have to do anything.
Oh yeah, I don't even see that anymore.
You just go right through. And then water puzzle, that's also really easy.
Okay, so I'm saving for this fight. It is usually okay, especially given how over level I am, but you can die for sure. The mug has gong shot, and you don't kill it in one hit. So Grimer actually being good for Mudkip, but not so much for Latias.
Yeah, the if it wasn't apparent, the Weezings or the Grimers and Mucks in this game become Coughings and Weezings in the other game. The Weezing here can be a range if you have pretty bad special attack, but usually you can just one-shot it, and then obviously here Muck is just a bit bulkier, so not even close to a one-shot.
That's sometimes even a range to two-shot.
Oh my god.
And by sometimes I mean if you don't have 31 special attack.
The strength puzzle is not very difficult, but moving into one tile gaps on the bike is hard, as you saw in the first room in C4 Cavern. So, and then coming up here on a fairly infamous fight.
Embargo.
Yeah. So, ideally, the way that this fight goes, is you need to set up on the Mighty Yenna. And as we've said earlier, Mighty Yenna is scary, but this one's actually not very scary at all, typically. It has Scary Face, which is the main move you actually want to see. What we're going to do is we're going to use a Guard Spec. Guard Spec protects you from any stat drops for 5 turns. So by using a Guard Spec, Scary Face does nothing. However, his AI is really dumb, and is going to usually just spam Scary Face. Like, you're faster than him, so I want to Scary Face and drop your speed, but it does nothing.
Yep. It's only...
However...
Oh yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say, however, he also has Embargo. And Embargo is a move that will prevent you from using any items for 5 turns or something. So all those X items that we want to use, we won't be able to use. And I think, if my memory serves me right, I had never seen Embargo before, and then somebody was like, hey, that Mighty Yenna has Embargo, has he ever used it? And we're like, no, it never uses it. And then the next run I did, it used Embargo.
Wow. Also, this battlefield is wild. I've actually never seen it in Alpha Sapphire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you only fell asleep every time you saw it.
This might be true.
But yeah, the Mighty Yenna only has one attacking move. He has Takedown, so it's not even like it's a dark move like Assurance or anything, so it doesn't deal that much damage. And then once you get your X items set up, it's just a free fight. And then shoutouts to the Sharpedo, Mega Evolving, so Grass Knot no longer procs Rough Skin.
Yeah, and also becoming heavier.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't matter, it still dies even without setup. And now, if you wanna snipe the Kyogre name, it's the time, because we soon being there.
About 10 minutes, yeah.
Go Gracia.
Is it actually 10 minutes? Oh.
It's like I used to actually have a Maxi 2 split and then a Groudon split. It's literally 11 minutes.
Oh, really?
Almost to the dot, yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
It's pretty crazy.
Then I'm gonna retract what I just said and replace it by soon-ish.
This is the part where you start swearing at Wartab because he found stupid mashing for this game. That hurts your hands.
Yeah, it's not comfortable at all.
We're gonna enjoy Kyogre's cry.
Big, thick fish.
So yeah, this is where they started actually thinking about doing Sun Moon, hence the amount of cutscenes. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Funny how small that fish is.
Yeah, we will see later how small he actually is.
Even like these rendered cutscenes, the character models look more like they do in Sun Moon.
That's actually true.
So they're definitely thinking about it. But yeah, this
Ironic.
is.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Oh,
I was
I was gonna say this is Generation 3 was like the. Yeah, well, actually, I guess Generation 2 sort of had it the first time where there's like a big plot dump right after the 7th gym badge before the 8th one. And this is the first game, well, the originals are the first games where you like actually catch the title legendary before getting the 8th badge. That's a trend that basically continued. I don't know about Gen 5. I think Gen 5 you get it later, but basically continued up until Generation 8. Generation 8 was like the first one to really break that mold again. Where there's basically no plot between Gyms 7 and 8.
I was also going to say that, ironically, Gen 3 was also the first gen to have a real cutscene in Emerald that also
Yes.
had RNG in it.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, how long the rain would take there has actually a lot of RNG. How much variance was it? It was like half. It could like differ half a minute or something.
Yeah.
I like how Araya is asking us that question.
Yeah, because you were talking about it. No, I forgot how much variance it has.
That's a lot. I didn't even know that it was that much.
It's a ridiculous amount.
Is that the only cutscene with RNG time? Ever? I feel like
Maybe.
that's the only one I know about.
Yeah. I don't know any others.
I'm trying to think of some as well.
There's a cutscene in Gen 8 that continues even though the screen is black.
And also Gen 8 where there's a 1 in 256 chance that Leon actually catches the thing.
Yeah.
It's surprising how many people actually believe that when some authority says that.
The 1 in 256 that your Poplio rejects you.
And obviously I'm saying authority between quotes, but I cannot do quotes because I'm playing a game right now. So don't take me seriously, please. Thank you. Generally, people who know me don't take me seriously anyway.
It's true.
Wow.
You just need to make a grey face. No space.
The music here is so much better in Alpha Sapphire than it is in Omega Ruby.
That's a true statement.
Definitely.
I can't even hear it, but I like listening to it in my head.
Although even in Omega Ruby, it improved a little bit over Ruby, I would say.
I don't even know
In
if
Ru-
I've seen this part in Ruby.
In Ruby, it literally kills your ears.
I can imagine the little like high pitched tones on the
Yeah.
freaking GBA. Yeah.
I have never heard it either. Mainly because nobody actually does runs of that. And by nobody, I mean there's maybe a handful of people who actually tried it, but
I think Amoeba did it once.
Yeah.
And the Drake fight is like disgusting.
well, it's,
Yeah, and this
it's not even good in Omega Ruby.
Drake is the reason why Alpha Sapphire, like Kyogre, is faster than Groudon, in my opinion. It's just so much better with Kyogre. If
Yeah.
Groudon had Ice Punch for some dumb reason, it'd be free. But
Yeah, Victory Road is slightly faster, but it's like really actually Drake that is really, really good. Because Ice Beam is a thing.
Garth put the lyrics to the Omega Ruby music here in chat. Beep boop beep boop. Beep, boop. Oh man.
Yeah, but in Gen 3, Groudon is even more useless than in this generation, so we almost never see any runs of Ruby. It's just always Sapphire in Gen 3.
Yeah.
Also shoutouts to Brandon, who says we're best friends after 2.5 hours of having met him.
Oh.
You are
I
my
mean, you
best
went
friend
through a
after
lot.
all.
The power of love.
Brandon is a simp.
Alright.
Anyways.
Moving on, so
I like how in this part in Alpha Sapphire you like put on your scuba suit or whatever and you end up riding the Kyogre through the water. In Omega Ruby you like put on the same scuba suit and then you're like going through a pit of lava on the Groudon.
except
Definitely the same level of danger.
except it's red. It's red in Omega Ruby, and here it's blue. And red protects more against lava than blue.
And it's faster.
I think Kyogre swims faster.
Well, it's meant red cars are faster than blue cars.
Wait, who says that?
No, it's like if there's a stripe, it means it goes faster.
Oh,
It's
I am speed.
like actually a thing where you can get like different insurance based on if your car is like red.
look how tall the fish is.
Fish is so small.
Hug the fish.
It's so unfortunate. That Pokemon is supposed to look very intimidating. Look at this. Very intimidating legendary.
I love the details on the bottom screen now that it's flickering and stuff because of
Yeah.
bad signal.
Yeah.
It's like
Very cool.
underappreciated.
Okay, now bless RNG because we're gonna YOLO ball the Kyogre. And since I'm like 10 minutes behind my PB, I'm not even gonna save for it.
Wait, didn't you sell all your Pokeballs?
I did.
Didn't you get a love ball just like I did?
I would have gotten a friend ball for it. That's my opinion.
Let me know when you need the Kyogre name, by the way.
Yeah, you can have it ready now.
I'll get it ready.
Like, it's gonna take, what, like 30 more seconds?
Mm-hmm.
You're really confident in that YOLO ball.
Yeah, I am. It's like 1 in 1 to succeed, I think.
1 in 256 to fail.
1 and 0 to fail.
What?
Wait.
Hmm.
Wait a second.
Now it looks more intimidating.
Primal Ray?
Okay, bless RNG. And you can close down the name now.
That's done.
What is it?
I can tell you it is going to be Milady. So M capital L A D Y.
Wait, M? Capital M?
Capital L as in Latias.
Wait, M?
A D.
Wait,
Small m.
Lowercase m, yeah.
okay. Then big L?
Yeah.
Yes,
A-D-Y?
that is correct.
Okay.
Perfect.
Here we go.
And you also succeeded the YOLO ball. Congrats.
Oh yeah, I succeeded the YOLO ball. More cutscenes now. So this is the P break of the run.
Yes. This is like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
This cutscene even gives you the time to wash your hands, unlike others.
So you're trying to say that you can't even bring the 3DS to the bathroom?
That's not a thing, unfortunately.
Oh, dang.
Do you have a long enough USB cable?
Yeah, something needs to be long for that.
There's an even longer cutscene later on.
Is there?
But
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah. But yeah, Kyogre's really cool. It's, you know, water type, mono water type. It comes with Ice Beam, which is a good coverage move. We're gonna teach it Surf, which is obviously a very powerful water move. It also comes with the ability Drizzle, which is going to set up rain at the beginning of every fight for 5 turns. If we wanted to use the Primal Kyogre, it'd set up Primordial Sea, which would keep the rain indefinitely, but the Primal Reversion's actually really slow. It takes about 2 turns worth of time in order to set up the Primal Reversion. So we're not going to be using it at all in Omega Ruby. You would use the Red Orb and set up Primal Groudon for at least 1 fight, depending on the strats that you use, but it's just not worth it in this game.
Yeah, and since you have rain, I looked into like trying out Thunder, but it doesn't save enough time in any percent to be worth it. And even for a longer category called Elite 4 Round 2, it's also not worth it, but it would be more worth it because you actually use the Primal Kyogre, which would make it never miss Thunder ever.
But you could +1 kill the wall rain.
I wonder if you could +0, but I don't think so.
I ran the calc with normal Kyogre. I don't know about Prime. Let's find out.
One thing is for sure, it would make everything safer.
Oh yeah. So like the Latias rather, guaranteed 3 stats at 31 IV. Ideally you get special attack, speed, and then I guess HP. No, probably. I don't know what you'd want for Kyogre as the 3rd one. Special defense.
Yeah.
And nature-wise, anything that boosts either special attack or speed would be nice.
And you want negative defense, ideally.
Yeah.
Which hopefully we will show why, depending on how this run goes.
What's your 320?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see how we are.
That's really bad special attack. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so neutral nature, so no plus or minuses.
That is the lowest IV in special attack.
Oh, good speed.
Yeah, good speed though.
Hit the wrong frame.
Wrong class.
Okay, so from now on, Kyogre, obviously our main Pokemon. If you think about it, Latias wouldn't be good for Elite Four because its typing is literally weak to all 4 Elite Four members.
Oh my god, it is.
Hmm.
I've never noticed that before. That's horrible.
Very hard puzzle coming up.
Are you gonna save for the third room? Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's more hype if you don't. But yeah, okay, so for some context, if you fall here in one of the puzzles, you fight like a million trainers.
That's in Sapphire. Here it's less. It's one
Okay,
mandatory
okay.
one, I think, and for the last one it's like 2.
Okay, so 500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kyogre is like not very efficient at beating water Pokemon. So
So now that you're done with that, I'll say one nice thing about the puzzle is if you do mess up, you do have the option of doing diagonal movement to try and save yourself, where in the original games you don't. But doing diagonal movement on command is actually way more difficult than it seems.
yeah, the easy way to do it is to open your menu and then buffer the diagonal input.
I've never thought to do that. So because Kyogre has the 31 IV speed, you actually speed tie this Love Disc.
No, yes, Swift Swim.
He has Swift Swim. Oh my god, you speed tie the Love Disc in Omega Ruby. That's why I thought.
Oh, that's
Just
rough.
set up Sun.
Here comes the sun.
Anyways, you want to get rid of the Love Disc as fast as possible because obviously it can confuse you in more ways than one.
I was supposed to calm my toys. I was scared. Now I cannot sadly set up more here because he will encore. So this is gonna be rough. I should have used Origin Pulse. Didn't think that would not die. I knew it would not die, but I didn't think it would do this little damage. Okay, Seeking. Hopefully he's gonna use Rain Dance. Oh, I can only use Surf still. Garf, what have you done?
I also want to say that the amount of sub points we have right now is pretty nice.
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 Melodic is stupidly bulky. And also inaccurate, apparently.
If I was at +2 and with Rain, I could have just Origin Pulse that, but I'm only at +1.
So is your Surf PP not a problem here, or?
No, we're healing after this.
Okay.
Since there's a Pokemon Center before Victory Road. And we have to get rid of our HMs, of our slaves that are not HM slaves.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty convenient. So we get Waterfall from Wallace here, which is the last HM that we need to beat the game. We're going to teach it to Latios, and then after the only time that we need to use Waterfall, there's conveniently a Pokemon Center that we can just deposit the Latios for the rest of the run. Or Latios, I guess. I keep saying the wrong one, but whatever. You guys know what I mean.
I do.
And really conveniently, I guess we can mention now two things actually. The first is Kyogre. You'll notice when he starts surfing, Kyogre is going to be the sprite that appears rather than like the generic surfing sprite. That's not just a cosmetic thing. Kyogre actually moves faster than the normal, just standard surfing sprite. It's not the fastest Pokemon. I think Sharpedo is technically faster.
Yep.
But Kyogre does save a little bit of time here.
It is actually pretty significant. Like, when you put two runs side by side, it is actually... You can clearly notice the difference.
Yeah, if you're looking at just one, like, this doesn't look terribly faster than... You can tell it's faster, but it doesn't look super fast compared to normal surfing. But yeah, putting it side by side, it does. The other thing is on the Tate and Liza fight about a half hour ago. One thing that you may have noticed is the Marshtomp ended that fight in a fainted status. So it was our partner and we surfed it twice and killed it. That's actually pretty important because in Victory Road, there are 2 double fights that we can bypass because we only have one Pokemon that is not fainted. And we do need HMs in order to get through. We need Strength and we need Surf. Kyogre has Surf but doesn't learn Strength. And even if it did, we wouldn't want Strength on it. So we use the Marshtomp for Strength. And because it's fainted, we don't trigger those double battles. One of them is avoidable if you do have 2 Pokemon alive, but one of them is not, and you'd be forced to fight it.
Okay, now let's hope that we don't get destroyed here by confusion again. This is actually stupid.
Oh my god. It is 50-50. They nerfed Confusion in Gen 8, but I mean, still, that's losing a coin flip 3 times in a row.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, and a couple times on the Wallace fight. Like,
That's unreasonable.
absolutely.
So many coin flips lost.
I could have equipped a Person Berry since I still have one, but you're not expecting that to happen.
Yeah, in Omega Ruby, you equip a Person Berry for Wallace. And like I mentioned, if you have 31 IV speed, you actually speed tie the Love Disc. So if you happen to keep your Person Berry through the fight, you just leave it equipped for that fight. And it's pretty free. But you need the Mystic Water for Kyogre. There's just no reason to add 2 extra menus to equip the Person.
I mean, at this point, it would have been faster. But
I know. Typically, typical luck, that doesn't happen. Usually, you bank on hitting yourself maybe once, if that.
I'm not even sure it's not a range on Froslass without Mystic Water.
It wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't a range. And it just, died. That's what I meant.
Alright, so that I had to Origin Pulse the throw because I have 0-2 special attack IV.
That's so bad.
It stops becoming a range with 24. It is still a range with Surf with 24, but it's more likely than to hit an Origin Pulse, which is 85% accurate. So if a Pokemon is a 14 and 16 range with Surf, it's better to Surf instead of trying to go for Origin Pulse. Obviously.
Yeah, it's like an interesting trade-off where it's like, you know, I'm gonna surf, even though surf doesn't necessarily always kill, it at least has a higher chance of killing than a single Origin Pulse does.
So here I could skip the double battle as was explained earlier, because I only have one alive Pokemon, which is Kyogre. And hopefully we don't get Endor here. It's actually fairly rare on turn 1. But I say that now and just watch. Okay, didn't do it.
Nice. Yeah, both the Sock and Throw have Endure. So, very nice to see it without that.
I had a nice pun prepared if it did use it.
Boy.
You can say it anyway.
That's why I was talking about
That
it.
that would have sucked.
You should have kicked him out when he had the chance.
Yeah, now it's too late.
Yeah, so there's the other double battle that we can skip. And then that's it for random battles. We do have, or I guess nameless trainers. Although they all have names. Not like important trainers, I guess I should say. Garf says he's still available, by the way.
He can come in for the last 20 minutes. 30 minutes.
I think this channel is protected. Cannot join.
Good.
Also enjoy this 25-second music loop. Oh,
I'm not even hearing it, but I hear it in my head.
Same.
yeah, this is the third loop already.
Everyone's always like, "Oh, this is such a good song," but it's like it's literally the same thing for 20 seconds at a time. This fight actually showcases something I think is kind of interesting about Mega Evolution. So Wally's Ralts has evolved into a Gallade. Kind of a nice touch that it goes to a Gallade instead of a Gardevoir. However, when it Mega evolves, its speed actually increases, but the way it works in Generation 6 is the speed for the turn is determined at the very beginning of the turn. So at the beginning of the turn, he's a non-Mega Gallade, which means we outspeed it. And then because we one-shot it, it's never actually faster than us. That was changed in Generation 7, I believe. And then in Generation 8, speed took like an entire overhaul where, you know, speed updates right away. Even for things that aren't Mega Evolution.
So that entire Frostlass has cost a lot of time.
It's almost a minute, yeah.
So we might not be able to get sub-estimate if we show the thing that I said we don't show. So yeah.
We were a little bit ahead on schedule anyway, right?
Yeah, we are. So it depends. Gonna ask Polister when we're there.
I'll be right here.
Now Elite 4 time.
Yep. So once again, go to the PC. We didn't mention it earlier, but basically when you deposit a Pokemon, it heals it to full. So it's effectively the same as using a Pokemon Center. So because we need to deposit the Marshtomp anyways, because we don't want two Pokemon in our party, the Groudon or the Kyogre gets healed as well when we deposit it.
Yeah, and it's faster to heal in the PC anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, now this fight is relatively free, but I'm still gonna save, just in case it goes wrong. The issue is we have bad special attack, so we cannot go for the crazy strats, which require no setup. So I'm gonna save here, because if we get crit by Leaf Blade, we are dead. And Leaf Blade is a high crit rate move. So it's 1 in 8 crit instead of 1 in 16. And by 1 in 8 I mean 100%.
Yeah.
Luckily we have 31 IV in speed, which means we will outspeed everything on this fight. In Omega Ruby you wouldn't outspeed the Shiftry because it has chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll, yeah.
But Shiftry, since we're at full HP, is very favored to go for Fake Out, because it cannot kill us with Leaf Blade. But if it pre-rolls a crit, it will not use it. So we will X-Special Attack here. And it uses Fake Out. Nice. So this is free. We need the X-Special Attack here because only with 31 IV speed, Special Attack you kill everything without setup. Which doesn't matter because you use Fake Out anyway. So it's basically a free turn to set up on. And you Spike Shield because we're low HP, at high HP.
Nice HP, by the way.
Yeah, Wartab mentioned the pre-roll. So when moves are selected by the AI, in some cases, not everybody has this AI, but a lot of times what happens is the AI will use a move if it will KO the opponent. So like if you're at low health, he's way more likely to go for a move that will KO. And the way that they determine if it's going to KO is they basically run each of their moves through a damage calc to see if it's going to deal enough damage. And that damage calc is independent of the actual damage that it's going to deal. So there are cases where he'll use a move that would have killed if like a crit had happened because he rolled a crit in the pre-roll. But then when it actually happens, there is no crit and he just looks silly. So that happens quite a bit in late gen Pokemon. And a lot of trainers, like especially Elite Four members, most gym leaders, that kind of stuff have that sort of AI.
Hey, what's up? Have you ever seen The Ghost?
Yes, no, I did.
Somebody reminded me before it happened instead of after. I'm happy. I saw it.
I saw it too. And it's walking towards you right now. Oh, later because I have a delay. Or earlier.
It still did when you said it.
Oh, nice.
Wait, I've never noticed that one.
Did you never notice it goes down the chair and walks to you?
No, like
The little kid.
on that
Oh, the one
last
to the
screen, the
left.
kid standing next to you. I've never
Yeah.
seen that one before.
Oh,
I've seen the
quite
ghost that
there's
pops in.
nothing. There's nothing etiquette. I don't know what you're saying.
Oh my goodness.
What are you talking about?
I saw it too, like
I've never noticed that one. How many times have I run this game?
You're usually thinking about what to do in the fight when you get here.
Yeah, I'm usually thinking about how I'm gonna miss over this Dusclops.
Yeah.
But you got the one that like on the screen for 1 frame.
Okay, sadly we have really bad special attack, so I should technically not origin post this, but I'm still doing it because it's an 11 and 16 range. And I missed. Great.
Heck yeah.
And I missed again.
Video
Oh.
games.
This is actually not good because it has pressure. What do I do?
Dun, 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 dun,
But
dun.
you have the free ether that you got from the Rocksmith.
It's actually true, yeah.
So don't worry about PP.
Tee.
This is going really badly.
Uh-oh.
Because I know somebody's probably thinking it. The reason we don't set up on the Dusclops instead of this Dust... Well, normally we don't set up on the Dusknoir either. He's only doing that because he's having really bad luck. We don't set up on the Dusclops because Dusclops has the move Curse. And Curse, when used by a Ghost type, will put a curse on the opponent, and the curse will cause the opponent to lose 1/4 health, 1/4 of its max health every turn, until it switches out or the fight ends. So that's both slow and dangerous because, as you can see, like the Dusknoir hits pretty hard, and Wartab currently has an HP value that is divisible by 4, so he would exactly die.
I mean, you level up anyway. And that's an easy way to lose a minute. I actually never seen that fight go this badly.
And now the best fight.
That's never happened before.
That's never happened before.
This fight right here is the reason why I don't like running off fire.
What do you mean?
Yeah, bless RNG for some sheer cold.
So I'm
to
gonna
make it
read.
spicy.
I'm gonna read my notes here. It says, equip blue orb if you are a weenie. And we are not weenies, so I'm not gonna equip it. But I'm still gonna save it because I'm a weenie.
I'm pretty sure I'm a weenie in my PB too.
Okay, so there's a Walrein on this fight, and it has Sheer Cold, and it's 33% to hit that. Because it's 3 levels higher than us. And we need to set up on it, because if we did set up on Glalie, we would get Light Screen, Hail, and all this good stuff that doesn't waste time at all. So we have to kill it turn 1. As even that... Yes?
What's the chance that it even goes for sheer cold, the Walrein?
Yes.
150%.
1 in 256.
But at least we have 31 IV speed, so we will outspeed the Frostlass, so we don't need to X-speed at least. Alright, bless RNG here.
Wow.
Video games.
The worst part about this stupid Bucktooth Walrein is when he doesn't go for Sheer Cold, he goes for Body Slam. And Body Slam, as we mentioned earlier, has like a 96% chance to paralyze you. So you can get stuck in this stupid loop where you have to full restore before killing it. And then he uses Sheer Cold the one time he doesn't go for Body Slam and paralyze you.
Wow.
It's just an awful fight.
And that, kids, is why you pick Omega Ruby.
Yeah. In Omega Ruby, this fight's great because, well, depending on the strats you do, if you do the more beginner strat where you Red Orb for the first 3 fights in Elite Four, you have to 2-shot the Walrein, but the Walrein is like, hey, Surf is 4 times effective because you're a ground fire type. Let me use that. And then Surf does nothing because you're in harsh sunlight. Like, actually nothing. Not like lower damage. It does literally nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, it goes for it. And that's so fast too, because it does no damage.
Yeah, it's the same thing on Sydney. The Sharpedo can go for Aqua Jet, and then Aqua Jet just does nothing. So even though it's priority, it like saves time, or it doesn't save time, but it's not bad.
Wow, got the 4% no paralyze.
Wow.
Wowie.
Oh! This
Keep in
is
mind-
actually every marathon.
Sheer Cold is like 34% to hit because it's a base 30 and then 1% for each level.
Yeah, 33.
That or 33. Okay.
I'm level 50 and it's level 53. You know what, guys?
You're gonna Red Orb or not Red Blue Orb?
No.
I love the different levels of volume we have for our reactions. Wartap is silent, then Edigat and I are somewhere in the middle, and Araya just goes completely insane.
Yeah, I just have experienced the BSG marathon that he did where he got the sheer cold about 5 or 6 times. So it's interesting to see that it keeps happening.
In PvE attempts, I'm generally really lucky here. In PvE attempts, I maybe died to this 3 times, and in marathons, it's every single time.
Can I cheer you up with some messages?
Sure.
Okay, so here at ESA Together, we are a week-long online marathon that will feature speedrunners and score attackers from all around the world. We invite everybody, be it ESA regulars or first-timers, showcasing their best for you. ESA Together is supporting ESA and our other affiliated events' increased cost this year, connected with the coronavirus outbreak. And I'd also like to point out that, well, we might have been pointing out a lot that our sponsor HyperX is going to be matching a $2.50 donation for the first 800 sample points that happen during this event. But if you, for some reason, can't subscribe to the channel or gift a sub for that matter, you can cheer and send in them bits. So it's another fantastic way to support the channel and keep this amazing content coming your way in the future. So whatever way you choose to support us, be it donating, subscribing, gifting a sub, or cheering to the channel, we'd like to thank you for your incredible generosity.
Okay, so as you could have figured out, this is much slower than doing what I was intending to do. Because the animation of the primary version takes about 12 seconds. And if it uses light screen turn 1, we have to use 4 Carmines. So you don't want to do that. So yeah, that's why we don't use the blue orb. And I also need to remember to unequip the blue orb.
Yeah.
Oh, and 2 leper berry as well. I'm not sure if I need it, but probably do. And that's why we pick up the leper berries, is because you get 2, and you can actually use those in 2 places then. Which here is the 2nd place. And this fight is free, at least.
This fight is why Kyogre is better than Groudon. Like, almost the sole reason.
Yeah, Groudon needs to Swords Dance like 3 times usually.
Yep.
And then smack down this Altaria, which was gonna heal usually. And then you have to Earthquake it, and if it healed, it's a range to die if it used Cotton Guard. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really not fun.
At least you get to Earthquake a bird.
You get to Earthquake many birds in this run. Well, if you do the Smackdown strats, yeah.
At least you got to see the ugly side of RNG in this game. It could have been much worse, because Latias could have been much more of an issue. But we also played fairly safe with 2 rare candies.
I say it's the nickname that did it.
Probably. Yawn is good here. Because you cannot fall asleep due to being the last turn.
Yep.
It's usually what he does if he cannot kill you.
And then on to the champion fight.
With Drake being the only nice guy.
actually gets out of your way.
I wonder who the champion is.
Shoutouts to the best champion music in Pokemon. Suck it, Cynthia.
Wow.
I have to disagree.
No, Cynthia's is actually better, but this one's really good.
Yeah,
The remake for this is really good.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Okay, now we are going to Ice Beam turn 1 and hope for freeze. If you don't freeze, we have to restart.
Wow.
Okay.
That's not actually true, but if you freeze
Steven
again,
has
we save a lot of time.
yeah. Steven has 2 Pokemon that have Sturdy, so one of them being the lead. So you go for an Ice Beam turn 1. If you get the freeze, it's really nice. And then you do your setup and then sweep.
At least no Toxic turn 1, that's good. Toxic turn 2. Nice crit. Oh, missed Toxic again. Good. That saved a bit of time.
Yeah, typically with the way that goes is he uses Toxic turn 1, and then you end up having to heal because Toxic will kill you before you're done with your setup. So you end up having to full restore twice, but because he missed the second Toxic, you were good. And then this Aggron has Sturdy. So.
And Stone Edge. Oh, yikes!
Oh my.
So I'm not
Calculated.
entirely sure, but I think you might be in Bullet Punch range.
I might be, yeah.
It's just a guess. I don't know the calcs for this, but
I don't know what to heal on.
On the guy that uses Bullet Punch?
I would probably heal on, yeah. Nah, wow, Earth Power did nothing.
I'm at +3.
Oh, that's right, Earth Power is special.
Oh, yeah.
This was not much slower considering you usually have to heal twice on Skarmory anyway, and I didn't do it.
Right.
Okay, and we're done with Steven. And since I'm gonna go overestimate if I do the actual run timing, I'm not gonna show the rest of the game. Unless we have like still 10 minutes, but I don't think we have.
I can tell you right now, we actually do have quite a bit of time, so yeah, keep going.
Okay, this is gonna take 12 minutes. Oh, 11 from here.
I
So
can confirm right now that if you do it 12 minutes long, you're gonna put us back on schedule because we were ahead by a little bit. So
okay, great. I'm gonna
Keep
be
going.
overestimate. But yeah, my submission, like when I give a 320 estimate, it is actually not including those 12 minutes, unless the run goes well. Like it needs to go pretty well, because you do a lot of safety saves and stuff, and that all adds up. This one was actually pretty bad with all the death.
It was a good showcase of how the run can be.
Yeah, that's for sure. Did we die to Hideki?
You died
Yes.
once
Yeah.
to Hideki.
Ah,
yes.
yeah, okay.
It seems that Tech has listened to us about adding an additional 12 minutes, and they have upped the estimate from 320 to 332.
Nice.
Yay, I'm gonna be sub-estimate.
Shout outs to the tech crew and all other volunteers during ESA for putting in so much work into these marathons.
Massive shoutouts to them, of course.
But yeah, the timing for leaderboards for this ends. There's one more fight we have to do before we get like the end sort of title screen. So we do have to sit through our credits here, and some extra dialogue. But
Yeah, there's nothing to do here. Like, it's just literally watching credits for 9 minutes. Or like, I don't know if it's like 9 or 10. Maybe we can figure it out. But it's nothing to do here. And there's a reason. It's because like the end text is like after that battle, and a battle is a meaningful input. So, and
Yeah, there's still variants.
there's variants, and there's a difference between Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, because Alpha Sapphire has an easier time on this battle.
yeah,
To complete it.
Well, at least the music is good.
Yeah, enjoyed this music. And I'm also gonna break one of the rules that runners are imposed to, and I'm actually gonna open the ESA chat now. So if you have any questions you can ask,
well, I have a question, Wartab.
let me know.
If
your
I wanted
question.
to learn about this run and how to do it myself, where would I go?
You would go to speedrun.com/pkmnauras, or you just
Or you
look for Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, and you pick one of the guides that is up to date, and you just follow the instructions. And there's also forums where you can ask questions, but I doubt anybody reads that anymore. So what you can also do is go to that forum and go to the sticky post. I'm not totally reading this right now. Where you can join our Pokemon Speedrunning Discord, PSR for short, for Pokemon Speedrunning. And you can join us and ask questions. You scroll down in the channels and you go to the Auras channel. And then nice people like me will answer your questions. Also,
Yep, that's how it is.
people got sick all of a sudden. Everyone's coughing my call. I don't know what's happening.
Well, it seems to be a pandemic.
Rough.
What's your favorite Pokemon, streamer?
My favorite Pokemon is Stoutland. What is yours, Red Rotato? Is it Emolga?
Obviously. No, it's Lugia. And non-legendary is Oshawott.
Oh, sure. What?
Unironically, my favorite electric type is actually Emolga.
Pulse EU.
I've also never run Gen 5, so
It might help.
You should, though.
I should. I already have a seed. I just have to do it.
Oh yeah, we have to do that
Oh.
too.
Black or white, too?
Yep.
Black.
What about you, Araya?
My favorite Pokemon is Infernape.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, my actual favorite Pokemon is Frostlass, but I do like Emolga.
Alright. And as you can see, the credits, on top of having nice music, also show you which Pokemon you used throughout the run. So you can see I had Mudkip at the beginning, now I have Marshtomp. And it shows which Pokemon you used against each of the fights.
Wow.
This is always fun in Wonder Trade runs.
Yeah, because you can Yeah, also, you see them evolving, and you also see what you started using if you main switched, which never happens. Because when we're doing Wonder Trade races, I think you explained them, right?
No, actually, I don't think we did.
Didn't Retro?
I just quickly mentioned it when in that one horde fight.
Oh, yeah. So Wonder Trade races are races where we, as between friends and non-friends, race games. This game or XY or Sun Moon or Ultra Sun Moon, where we trade our Pokemon away and get something random from a Wonder Trade, and we do that until we get something that can actually beat the game, and then we race each other with some randomly obtained Pokemon that way. And there are some nifty things in this game where you actually want a flying Pokemon, but not as your first Pokemon, because that doesn't beat Roxanne easily. I mean, now that we lifted the rules, it's a bit easier, but yeah, the idea is that you want to trade away your Latias and your Castform and hope you get a flyer. We have the chance that Latias and Latios actually learn fly, otherwise it would be kind of rough. We would probably set up a Death Warp.
Yeah. The Death Warp's not too bad. But yeah, you'd have to go from... The only time you really like have to fly in this run is going from the top of Mount Pyre to Slateport. Without Death Warping, you have to like bike all the way down Mount Pyre, through like over to Mauville, down from Mauville, like through the bike path, or you go under the bike path, but down to Slateport that way. Something we didn't mention, and I always like to mention in these, is we actually don't enter a Pokemon Center until Victory Road. That's the first Pokemon Center you enter. So if at any point Wartab had died without saving, he would have been back at Mom's house. So it'd actually be really easy for us to set up a Death Warp if we had to just enter the center in Slateport, and then we don't enter it anymore for the rest of the run, so your spawn point would just stay there.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. It's also, like, in Wonder Trade race, it's generally also a good idea to do that, like, to set up the Death Warp, and then just if you die, you have just this central point where you will end up being, because everything is relatively easily accessible from Slateport.
Yeah.
And yeah, what?
I was gonna say basically what Garfield the Lightning said in chat. If you trade away the Latios, you can still use the Eon Flute at the end to go from Setopolis to Route 126. So you don't have to worry about fly there.
Yeah, it's faster than just diving back. And there's also another category called Elite Four Round 2, if you wanna know about that. And that is just beating the Delta episode and then beating Elite Four a second time, where they have like very over-level Pokemon that are between level 70 and 80, I think.
Yeah.
So there you get a lot more Mega Evolution animations. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's a nice little extension. Like the worst part about the extension, you would think, is the fact that you have to sit through credits, but you have to sit through credits for any percent anyways, so it's like not even that much downtime during the Delta episode. There's a lot of extra dialogue. There's actually there's one part where the camera is like panning as dialogue is going, and they expect you to actually sit there and read all the dialogue, so it doesn't continue the dialogue until the camera stops panning, and you literally sit there for like 10 seconds waiting for the camera to move after all the dialogue boxes are gone. It's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
It happens to a lesser extent in 80%. If you go back to the museum fights, Archie sort of like pans for a little bit after the dialogue is done. But it's not nearly as bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, last fight.
Bless RNG.
Bless RNG.
Don't die. Don't die.
So we're fighting the Sceptile here. In this fight, there's a Sceptile, and we really want to kill that in one hit. So we need to set up a lot. I don't even know how many calm mines are used. This rain expiring doesn't give it away.
Or your PP.
Oh, my PP.
I think one
Oh no! What did I do?
Oh.
And time.
Oh yeah. Big red button.
Good job, Retro. You had one job.
Yeah, so winning or losing that fight is the game still progresses. So losing is faster than winning. His Sceptile Mega evolves, which takes a lot of time.
Yeah. But the fight would be easy otherwise. You don't need to set up, you just Ice Beam because it becomes a grass dragon type.
Yep. In Omega Ruby, this fight's a little bit different because you actually kill the Swallow turn 1. And then you try to die to the Wailord. The problem is the Wailord keeps using Bulldoze, which is just neutral against you until you become slower than it. And then once you're slower than the Wailord that has like 3 speed, you it starts using Surf and Ice Beam and finally actually deals damage to you. But
yeah, it's a bit slower. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching this run. It was kind of rough. Got a lot of bad RNG, but still I underestimate. So yeah, thanks to my commentators. Thanks to ESA for having this marathon. Keep donating, keep subbing. It's really important. And yeah, bye.
And thank you, Wartab, for that incredible run. That was really entertaining, I must say. Coming up next, we have Super Mario 64, the 70-star category, done on a dance pad. So we're going to do a quick intermission, and you don't want to miss this run. It's coming right up. Give us 5 to 6 minutes, and we'll be right there. I've been Paul Lister. That's going to be it for my donation reading today. And Nordic Soy will be handling the next 3 hours. So hope you enjoy. Bye-bye.